used to be a very critical person. I don't get upset at other people's actions as much as I used to, you know? And one thing that's made me not so critical is reading things on the internet of people getting so angry at each other, like people that write long articles about how mad they are at a thing that people sometimes do. And the articles are very long because they don't have to be short anymore. I think newspapers were a little better because you had to like be careful, like we only have this much room to tell about a whole war. So you have to be really artful about it, and then anybody who wants the job to write that much has to be really fucking good. But the internet is forever. So you just come in and you go, I want to write a story about how like trees are annoying. Totally, just fucking do it, I don't care. Just write 7 years about it. And the headline to the articles are always something like, it's a whole sentence. It's not like, why trees or something like provocative. It's like, I don't like trees that much and I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm just sort of sick of them. So that's what this article is about. And I have to pee. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I peed. Hi, everybody. Here's the article. But anyway, I was reading this one about a guy who was really upset about people taking pictures of their food at restaurants. And it was one of those where he's like, can we stop with the taking pictures of your fucking food? If I get another Instagram of a fucking appetizer, it's ruining America. I'm like, let her take a picture of her food. Let her do it. She's eating alone. She's by herself. I eat alone all the time. And I'm always eating next to people. If you're eating alone, you're always eating next to people that are together. And by the way, if you're ever with somebody at dinner and there's a person sitting alone right here, they're with you. They are in your conversation. They're just looking straight ahead at what? At nothing. You really think they're just like, They just, every word you say, they're just gathering it. So anyway, I was at a restaurant and I was listening to these two young women that were talking. And they were about 20 years old, they maybe NYU students. And one is telling the other about the guy she's dating. And she's telling her all the unsatisfactory things about the guy. She's like, I don't know, like sometimes I text him and like he doesn't text back right away. And then when he does, it didn't have like anything to do with like what I wrote. I'm like, why do you even write me? And then I went to see him and he was just being weird. And then he wrote me, it's like, I'm sorry I'm being weird. It's weird right now. And I was like, I didn't even say anything. Why are you even saying anything? It just sounds like when he writes to me that he doesn't really like think about like what I would want to hear. It just seems like it's just always just, so I'm listening to this because I'm interested in what her friend's gonna say. I want to know what kind of friend she has. So after a while, her friend says to her, well, he's just a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. And the thing is that you're amazing. You're amazing, and he just can't handle it. And I thought, this is not a good friend. Because give your friend something useful. Like, well, maybe you're a bummer sometimes. Maybe you bummed him out because you're a boring bummer. Is that possible? Like, let her consider that. It doesn't help a person to walk around thinking, I'm amazing. And anybody who doesn't text me back right away just can't handle how amazing I am. Like there's some other NYU kid walking around telling his friends, I'm dating this girl and she's just, I can't handle how amazing she is. It's like too much. Like I try to text her back, but I'm like, I can't, she's too amazing. I just can't handle it. I wish she was less amazing. How is she amazing, by the way? She's like 20, you can't be amazing yet. If you're 20, unless you have some missing limbs, you're not amazing. I mean, what is she, Nelson Mandela already? She's a fucking kid. You're amazing the way you take those classes. you don't need to walk around thinking that you're amazing. That doesn't help you. It's not a healthy thing. I mean, self-love is a good thing, but self-awareness is more useful to the rest of us if you can master that. Because it's nice to walk around saying to yourself, I'm amazing, I'm incredible, but really, once in a while, you should say to yourself, maybe I'm a bummer. Maybe I'm a boring bummer. If you don't think that to yourself at least twice a week, you're a psychopath. Because everybody's capable of becoming a bummer. Of course we are. Everybody is. Once in a while you drift over and you realize, oh, fuck, I'm kind of a douche right now. And you reset your sights. You have to consider the possibility. It's like when you say to a friend of yours, you know, sometimes a friend of yours will be an asshole. He becomes an asshole. And you tell him, hey, man, you're an asshole. And he's like, no, I'm not. Well, that's not up to you. That's up to everybody else if you're an asshole or not. You don't get to just say no to that. You're an asshole. No, I'm not. Oh, sorry. Well, I'm glad I checked. Self-awareness is not a great American trait. As a country, we just want what we want and then we just do shit. America is like a shitty girlfriend. It really is. America is like the worst girlfriend the whole rest of the world ever had. Because whenever something bad happens to America, she remembers it forever. Like it just happened. But if she does anything wrong, she's like, what? I didn't do it. What are you talking about? I didn't do that. But you killed hundreds of thousands of people in the Middle East. Yeah, but 9/11, okay? You don't even know. Assholes. Yeah, but there's this wedding in Yemen and you killed all these. Yeah, but 9/11 still. But now you're torturing people. It wasn't even torture. Oh my God. He's such a baby. And I'm saying this about women because I'm a guy. I'm the opposite sex. So that's how I'm sure women feel that way about guys. It's just the way it works. That's how we feel about each other sometimes. You know, it's like sexism and racism are very different, I think. Because racism is just like a mistake. Racism has no basis in anything. It's just a weird mistake we made it somewhere along the line, and I'm sure we'll get rid of it at some point. But sexism ain't going anywhere. Because as wrong as sexism is, it's down deep, and it's wired in with lust and love. And when we get mad at you, we get mad at all you. Just, oh, women! 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 Oh, women! Women are women! And you're like, men, 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 men. All right, you guys, get home safe. Thanks a lot for coming. Good night. Thank you very, very much. My other daughter's 13. She just turned 13. And those are the years, where the parents ahead of you are like, yeah, yeah, wait till she get that's when you get the That's what they actually say. It's really confusing. I'm not scared of my daughter being 13. Some guys, they're literally afraid of their teenagers. They're like, I don't know what she won't. Hi, she won't do anything. She won't do anything I tell her to do. It is fucked up talking to a teenager. Because you're like, honey, you gotta do your homework. Nah. Okay, you gotta do it though. Not gonna do it. Okay, well, I'm making you do it now. Well, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, will you do it later? When will you do it? I don't know. Okay, well, I'm gonna move out. So you do it when you want. Because this one thing that's it, I'm done. It's a little fucked up. I love my kids though, and she's 13, she's weird now, and I still love her. A lot of guys, they really freak out when their daughters get older. Like my friend's daughter's 16, he's like, I don't know what to do. She's gonna start having sex. I don't know what to do. She's gonna have sex now. What do I do? I'm like, you don't do anything. That's not your area. You're the dad. You have no role in her sex life. None. Not advisory or supportive, nothing. But what if she has a bad sexual experience? Oh, she's gonna have a number of those. Oh, yeah. She's gonna have some of those. Her whole life is gonna be just walking through a blizzard of bad dicks that just keep. Ah, shit. All the dicks. Shit, that's a. Look, just trying to get to work. Yeah, man. They're coming. The dicks are coming. It's a whole cloud of dicks. Get the pussies in the barn. The dicks are a-coming. Just a storm of dicks. I'm 52, and I like my 50s. I like this part of my life. It's my favorite so far. I'll tell you why, because I can still move around pretty good, and I don't have long to live. I view that as a positive, because life is a lot of pressure. The more life you had ahead of you, the more problems you have. Like if you're 20, you might have 70 years to try not to be homeless or alone during. But I got maybe 24 years left. I can handle that. Like that's an amount of time. I'm like, yeah, I can fucking do that. I can cover 24 years. And it gets easier every year less that I have. Like I bought a winter coat the other day. I was like, this is my last coat. I don't need a bunch of these. It gets easier. I used to think I need to find a woman who will be with me forever. I need a string of girlfriends at this point. Just a few more girls. I need 3 women in their 40s to get me through my 50s. And 2 in their 50s to get me through my 60s. And then when I'm 75, 21 years old. That's when I'm doing that. 21, she gets the rest of my money. Just blow me to my grave and keep the change. That's the offer on the table. For anybody who's 21 when I'm 75. She hasn't been born yet, but we'll see what the new crop brings. My French girlfriend, she's 42, which is perfect. She's pornographically hot, but she's willing to fuck this mess. Because you have to be over 40 to have the compassion and the sense of humor to fuck around. She likes to be on top, which I think is because that's the best that I ever look, is laying on my back. Because all the skin lays where it belongs. Like it just drapes nicely. I look about 49 and a half when I'm on my back. And if I get on top of her, it comes off, it comes away from the bone like barbecued pork. And this shit, when you hang this, it's all red and bumpy. It's like the roof of a cave. It's a nightmare. And my tits are like flappy triangles with red tips. They look like candy corn that somebody stepped on. It's a weird selection process that we have. Dating really it's how we evolve as dating. It's how we choose each other. And dating is a real drag for a lot of people, but I always think it's a nice thing. You know, when I see a date, I'm always happy. When I see a couple on a date, because it means people are still trying, you know? You see a couple on a date, it means there's still courage out there. That takes courage to go on a date, for both sides. 2 very different kinds of courage. The male courage, traditionally speaking, is that he decided to ask. He went up to a random woman who he has no idea if she's gonna like him or not, and he walked up to her, terrifying. Everything in your body's telling you, just go the fuck home and jerk off. Don't do this.
But he walked up and said, "Hi." And she's like, no, give me a second. And you try to get through this membrane of, and then if it works and you say, "You want to go out sometime?" Sometimes she'll say yes. And if she says yes, that's her courage. And the courage it takes for a woman to say yes is beyond anything I can imagine. A woman saying yes to a date with a man is literally insane and ill-advised. And the whole species' existence counts on them doing it. And I don't know how do women still go out with guys? When you consider the fact that there is no greater threat to women than men. We're the number one threat to women. Globally and historically, we're the number one cause of injury and mayhem to women. We're the worst thing that ever happens to them. That's true. You know what our number one threat is? Heart disease. That's the whole thing. That's it. Just our own heart going, "Dude, you can't keep doing this. I told you 3 strokes ago that this is not smart." But women still think, "Yeah, I'll go out with you alone at night." What are you, nuts? "I'll get in your car with you with my little shoulders. Hi, where are we going?" To your death, statistically. How do they still do it? If you're a guy, try to imagine that you could only date a half bear, half lion. And you're like, "Oh, I hope this one's nice. I hope he doesn't do what he's going to do."
I have been dating recently. Dating's not fun. Dating's horrible. Nobody wants to date. Even if you meet somebody and you really want to go out with them and they say yes, you're excited in that moment. But the day of the date, you're like, "I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to do this." Every time I'm ringing a doorbell to pick a woman up, I'm like, "I hope she's dead in there. I really do. I hope something awful happened. I don't want to sit in a place and breathe unevenly for 3 hours and just sweating where your body is folded and just, You ever have a date that goes well? It's like good from the beginning. You're like, you get a little laugh at the beginning, hi, ha, ha, something funny, and they both laugh, feels good. You agree on stuff. When you don't agree, you laugh about it. You're even able to be quiet a little bit while you're eating, and it's nice, feels comfortable. And then you drop them off, and you're like, "I hope I see you again." And she says, "I hope so too." And you feel like, this is something new in my life. This is wonderful. Then you go home, and your wife is like, "Where were you all night?" And you're just fucking... But I'm older now. I'm divorced, and I still date mostly women who are younger than me recently, because that's who looks better. No, it's true. But I don't like I've always been with women my age or older. I was married to a woman a year older than me for 10 years, and that's always been the way there's some guys that have to be with a younger woman. There's cultures that believe the man should be much older. Like there's religions that have like a formula, like take the man's age and subtract 10, and then whatever else you have to do to get to 12, just solve for 12. But I didn't suddenly get interested in younger women. What happened was I got older and they got interested in me, because younger women like older guys. They just do. This the other part nobody says. I don't do anything to get younger women. I just stand there like this. And they see me and they're like, "That would be so weird to fuck that old guy." And then we get blamed. The older guy always gets blamed. You see an older man with a young woman, everybody's like, "That guy's a pervert." No, she's a pervert. He's normal. He likes pretty women. She likes that. The fuck is wrong with her? And they're weird. I was having sex with this woman, and she was about 35, and we're in bed. She starts calling me daddy. I was like, "Please don't, young lady. Please don't do that." She said, "Why does it make you uncomfortable when I call you daddy during sex? Is it because you have daughters?" I said, "No. It makes me uncomfortable because I have a father. And I used to call him daddy when he fucked me." So
By the way, thanks for laughing at me because I got fucked by my dad. I was not laughing at the time because I was coming. Because he fucked me good. My daddy fucked me so good. It's not his fault. I made him do it. I was such a brat. I was 10. I was like, Daddy, fuck me! Poor guy. He's like, I know I'm spoiling this child, but I can't say no. Thank you very much for coming. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Thank you for coming. Get home safe. Thank you. Good night.
So the other day I was hanging out in an airport waiting for a fucking whatever, and I'm standing there, and this guy asked me the time, and I don't know if this ever happened to you, but when somebody asks you the time, you ever just panic? Like, I just suddenly I couldn't read my watch, because it was just too much pressure, you know? And they're always in a hurry when they ask, you know? He's like, hey, you know the time? I'm like, yeah, I got it. Well, I got 10:492. It's 440 of 980. Shit! I hate it. I don't know. I can't deal with it. I wish people would warn me. I'm going to ask you the time in like half an hour. Just collect your thoughts. 'Cause I can't. And I need a watch to get through the day. But I wish I was invisible because people ask me now what I do. People are like, you have the time? I just go, yeah, you suck. That's what time it is. Fuck you. That's what time it is, you piece of shit. Just because it's easier. I'm not a bad guy. It's just easier. They go away. They move on. I'm on a new diet. Feels good, man. I'm on that new diet. You know that new diet where you can eat steak with butter on it? You can eat burgers, and you can have fries, ice cream, cake, and donuts, and you just get fat like a pig, and you keep eating anyway. You feel shitty, you eat more, you jerk off, and go to sleep. That's my new diet. It's a very popular diet. You're on that too? Yeah, it's very popular. It's got a name. It's called Just Fucking Eat It. You're gonna eat it, you fat shit. Eat it. That's what it's called. And I get away with it. I can eat whatever and I just get fat. It's no problem for me. It doesn't matter what I eat, I just gain weight. It's so easy. I'm lucky. Man, it's brutal. I hate it. You know when you know you're gonna eat something that's gonna make you feel like shitty and you eat it anyway. That's the worst thing. I do it all the time. Like I go and I'm like, I gotta have some donuts, you know? Shit. I go to the donut place, just give me some donuts. Yeah, 12. What do you think? What the fuck is that supposed to? Yeah, 12. And after 2, I'm like, this sucks, but I just keep forcing them, and I just feel like shit. And I can't not do it. You know, and I have friends who I have a friend who's married, and he can't stop fucking around. Like, it's impossible for him. He's like, I had to fuck this girl. I had to fuck her. I met her, so I had to fuck her. But he can't stop himself. I have no problem being with one woman. I'm married, but I can't not eat all the donuts on the planet Earth because it's different. You know, for sex, there's masturbating. For food, there's nothing like that. You know? I can't watch the Food Network and delicious. Oh, yeah, look good, yeah. Cook that shit, bitch. Come on, yeah, cook it. Doesn't do me a lot of good.
At some point, I mean, everybody dies at some point. I hope I'm not breaking that to anybody here. It's an interesting thing about human beings. We grow up with the knowledge that we're going to die. We live with it. We live our whole lives knowing that it's going to end. I think that takes courage. I admire us for being able to do that. Other animals don't do that. Other living beings, they don't think about, well, fuck, I mean, I might as well. I don't know why I'm going to die. They just do whatever they do. You know, they live in the moment. You ever seen a dog sneeze? Whenever a dog sneezes, first of all, their whole world explodes. And when the sneeze is over, they don't know anything anymore. They got to start their whole education from scratch. You You ever seen a dog walk in a room looking pretty intelligent? Hey, everybody. The fuck? But we know we're gonna die. I found out when I was 7 years old that everybody dies. My grandfather told me. He said, everybody dies. I wasn't even talking to him. I was just trying to blow out the candles. Yeah, I was 7 years old, and I suddenly had this knowledge that everybody dies, that life ends for all of us. And I remember I was excited. I wasn't excited to die. I was excited that I know this thing. And I was 7, and I knew other kids my age didn't know it. And I wanted to tell them. I wanted to be the person that tells people that everybody dies. I remember having that thought. And the first person I wanted to tell was Benji, this kid across the street. And I wanted to tell him because I hated him. I really did. I hated Benji. He was 6 and I was 7. And I wasn't friends with him. I would just, anytime I came out to my front yard, he'd come out to his, hi. And I hated him. He's the first person I ever hated. To me, he was a piece of shit cocksucker. That's how I felt about him. And I didn't even know those words. I was 7, I didn't know how to talk like that. So I would just look at him and I would just feel that way without a name for it. And then one day I heard some guy yell, piece of shit cocksucker, and I was like, yes, thank you. That's exactly what I feel about that child. Anyway, one day, I'm in my front yard, and piece of shit cocksucker Benji comes out in his little shorts. And I was like, ugh. Comes up to me, he starts bragging. He's like, I got a new bike. And I was like, really? You're gonna die someday. It's like, what? I'm like, you're gonna die, Benji. And he's like, no, I'm not. I said, yes, you are. He goes, how do you know? I said, because everybody dies, Benji. You're gonna die. And your mom's gonna die. And your daddy's gonna die. In that order. Anyway, he started crying. And he starts running back. It's still funny to me after 40 fucking years. I still remember it so well. Little Benji running into his house. Run, Benji! You can't run from this shit, bitch! He ran in his house, and then he came back out with his mother. And his mom's got his little hand, and she's furious. And I was scared. She walks up, she says, what did you say to Benji? I said, I told him that everybody dies. She said, why did you say that? I said, because it's true. And she said, well, not necessarily. I was like, what? She says, well, some people die and some people don't. So you never know, you might make it. Make it to what? And my head was spinning. I was like, wait a minute. So I'm like, I have so many questions for her. I was like, wait a minute. What about people from the Bible? I mean, they're all gone. What about Abraham Lincoln? He died. She's like, well, somebody shot Abraham Lincoln. But if they hadn't and he took care of himself, he might still be around today. I was like, really? And all of a sudden she goes, well, we have to go. And she just takes off. Like she walked away very quickly because I think she realized she picked the wrong argument to get on this side of, this was gonna end badly. And I ran inside and I told my mother the whole thing. My mother said, don't talk to that lady's a fucking idiot. Don't talk to that lady. I fucking hate that lady. Don't talk to her. My mom said to me, baby, don't worry. you're definitely going to die.
Everybody has their time. Everybody has their time. I mean, not everybody. There are people out there who there's just nobody for them. Yep. People like to say things like, there's someone for everyone. Nope. Not at all true. And stop saying it because it's mean to people who never find anybody. There are millions of people out there who we've all unanimously decided they are light speed ugly and nobody kisses them on the lips even. Nobody touches their genitals their entire life. They just wash it and then they die. That's all that happens. Oh, and if you're feeling bad for them, you can go find one and fuck one tomorrow. You can just solve the problem right there. With all that kindness in your heart. Well, go fuck one. Nah, I didn't think so. That's the one way we're all mean. Nobody does that. Nobody fucks down. Nobody. People fuck up or across. Some women fuck down because a guy talked them into that it was up. Yeah, no, you should. I'm totally up, yeah, man.
I thought I had COVID about 3 times. I'm one of those idiots. I was like, I think I have it. Can you feel? I'm bad with pain, too. Like the other day, I hit my elbow right on that spot where if I had a gun, I'd be dead now. You know, I can't do pain. That's why I could never be a cop. I couldn't walk around with a gun right here. There's 50 things a day where I'd be like, fuck that ain't worth. That's my main problem, by the way, with the whole defund the police idea. What about people that want to commit suicide by cop? What about them? Anyway, we'll put a pin in that, but... We had a lot of protests in New York, and now we have protesters that just live here. They're not at a protest, they're just here. I saw a protester in Washington Square Park. She had green hair and dirty legs. And she's holding a little piece of cardboard, and it's with a Sharpie. It said, "Abolish billionaires." And she's just standing there. And I thought, I don't think that's gonna do it. It doesn't feel like that's gonna result in Jeff Bezos going, what's happening to me? Sadly, it's gonna be okay for him. I thought it was good how young people got out there and they expressed themselves. They went out there to solve a lot of problems. Not all of the problems, but some of them. They went out there to stop discrimination. Not all discrimination, just some of it, which is a weird form of discrimination. But there are groups that are discriminated against who don't have any protesters or any people working for them. And we all discriminate against these people, like ugly people. Everybody discriminates against ugly people. They do, and it's awful. I mean, I'd rather be discriminated against for my race than for being ugly. Because you might not lose a job or a promotion, but nobody kisses you on the lips like your whole fucking life. Like, try that. This is what we say to ugly people. We don't like your face. We just don't like it. So no one's gonna fall in love with you, and it's unanimous. Sorry. And we just expect ugly people to be like, oh, no, I understand. I mean, sure. My head shape is no good for you, so I'll go without the things that matter in life. Also, overweight people. Overweight people deal with things that none of us deal with, because I'm not overweight. There's people who are discriminated against because of their weight. I read a story once about a woman who's 600 pounds, and she couldn't get medical care. Because everything she goes to the doctor, he just says it's because she's fat, everything. She's like, my knees hurt. He's like, yeah, my knees hurt just looking at you. What did you think was gonna happen? She's like, I have chest pains. He says, yeah, because your organs are over capacity, so they're hurting. She's like, I got shot in the head. He's like, yeah, because you're fucking fat. Somebody shot you in the fucking head because you're fat. It's a terrible story. Here's the worst part of the story, and this is true. This is true. She needed an MRI because she had something serious. She's 600 pounds. She doesn't fit in the machine. You know what they did? They sent her to the zoo. I'm not kidding. They sent her to the fucking zoo. That's what we do for fat people who need an MRI. Hey, here's your prescription. Go to the zoo. Yeah, that's where you should go. You should go to the zoo. By the way, you know how many fat people we have in this country? About 600 trillion billion thousands of them. You know how many trans people there are? About 38. But if you're trans and you need a restroom and it's awkward, we'll change every restroom. But if you're fat and you need an MRI, you go to the zoo, you fat bitch. Just go to the zoo. You go experience that today. What happens when she gets to the zoo? What actually fucking happens when she arrives at the zoo? Hi. Are you here to see the monkeys? No, I'm here for an MRI. Oh, shit. All right. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, just stand in the straw over here. Yeah. You're after the walrus who has lymphoma. By the way, why is there an MRI machine at the fucking zoo? Who was developing that instead of a fat human being MRI? Who's paying for this shit? You don't give an elephant a fucking magnetic resonance image test. What are you, fucking high? That's obscene. If an elephant is sick, you just listen. You do this thing. Misa thinks she's gonna die today. I'm saying this out of respect for elephants, by the way, because we're supposed to respect how they live. They don't fucking cure their diseases. This is not their culture. This is our weird. Let's fix it. Oh, he's sick. That's not how elephants live. An elephant in the Serengeti isn't like, I have a lump, I have to see my oncologist. When an elephant gets cancer, he falls over and he takes his fucking turn and becomes food. You don't put an elephant in a state-of-the-art... What if you find cancer? What, are you gonna give him chemotherapy? The skinny elephant with a pink baseball hat? Each day is a gift.
I like getting older, though, because for me, the kind of guy I am, getting older makes my life better. You know, like my sex life, way better at 45. Because of the kind of, look, because this situation is okay at 45. This is not a fun kind of a 17-year-old to be. And some people, their life is better when they're younger. You know, young dudes, young skinny dudes. Best life in the world is being a young skinny dude. They don't have to do anything. They just show up with a big Adam's apple and a smelly t-shirt. Hey, I'm here for the easy pussy for the rest of my life. So where do I, oh, everywhere? Okay, cool. But for guys like me, this is not a fun youth. It gets better. I'd like to make one of those It Gets Better ads for just dumpy young guys. We could use a little help, a little encouragement, just somebody on TV. Listen, man, I know it's tough right now. You're vaguely heavy with no face. You have zero value on the sexual marketplace. You feel invisible to the girls in school because you are. but it gets better. Because you all grow up. And you pretty much look just like this your whole life. And they don't. Their options start running out really fast. And you're gonna be there. As long as you stay relatively employed and washed, you're gonna be amazing. In your 40s, you're gonna be the branch that she can grab before she hits the ground. It's gonna be so great. It just takes time for her circumstances to match your looks, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. When real shit matters, you're gonna be the sexiest motherfucker in the world. It's just time, that's all it takes. There's a formula to this. It's pussy plus time over income squared. I'm 45 now, so I'm either halfway through a healthy life or almost done with not so healthy life. I don't know which one. I won't know till it's over where this was. I don't know how long I'm gonna live. I don't know. Nobody knows, I guess. I think human life expectancy is pretty good. We get a good run, you know? Some people die early, you know? If I die now, people will be like, oh, that's too bad. If I die 5 years from now, they'll be like, well, all right. Like, it's not even, it's... Like, as soon as you're 50, you're a candidate. You know there's no candlelight vigils for 50-year-old guys that die. And you start pushing in the area. Yeah, you know, some people get to be like 80s, 90s. You know, there are people that get to like 114, and then they're in the news. And it's always some old guy, I met Napoleon. No, you didn't. You liar. You oldest liar in the world. But 45, you know, you're not old yet, but you start having moments where you kind of start getting what old is. Especially if you didn't take care of yourself, you know? I have moments where I'm like, wow, this seems early for this. Like, this is something that happens to me a lot. I'll be sitting watching TV or doing nothing, and all of a sudden I'll realize, I need to wipe my ass right now. I mean, nothing happened, but I really gotta wipe my ass right now. Right now. Gotta make trips to the bathroom just to wipe my ass. How did this happen already? I'm 45. Already my asshole's just like, ugh. My asshole's like the waistband on old pajama bottoms. Just kind of loose and ineffectual. My asshole's like a bag of leaves that nobody tied up. It's just sitting on the lawn, full and open. Puking leaves onto the grass with every wisp of wind. Some kid kicks it over on his way home from a tough day at middle school. Rats. It's a pretty accurate description of my asshole. Here's another thing about my age right now. If I'm, okay, say I'm sitting down. If I'm sitting anywhere, which I love sitting so much. I would take sitting and doing nothing to standing and fucking any day. This is way better than coming. This is way better. This is what, in my age, if I'm sitting down and somebody tells me I need to get up and go in another room, I need to be told all the information why first. You gotta explain all of that shit to me. What, why do I, what, no, why though? Your car's being towed right now. Well, that's what happens to me then. I accept that. Because getting up is a whole thing. It means first I have to decide, do I really want to be alive anymore? Like, let's start with that. And then I gotta start kind of rocking to get momentum. Like I'm trying to get an old Honda out of a snowbank.
I always seem to get in trouble with people. I don't know what happens to me. I was in traffic once, and a guy behind me lost his mind. Did that ever happen to you? The guy behind you in traffic just decides that you're the problem. It's you. I don't know what happened. I'm sitting in this car, and there's 50 cars ahead of me before any light. And the guy behind me just starts beep, 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 beep. I look at him, and he's honking just at me. He's amazed that I'm not going. He's going, go, Jesus! Beep, just go! Screaming out his window at me. Like I'm driving all 50 cars there, you know? I'm pushing them like shopping carts in a parking lot. What does he think? He keeps yelling, go! And I'm trying to do that thing. What? I can't. What do you want? What do you want? Why are you... But it just made him madder. He was like purple and crazy. And I'm laughing at him, you know, till he gets out of his car. He's one of these guys, gets out of his car, comes up to my car, starts screaming at me, move it! Move it! And what am I gonna say back? What's gonna be my argument that's gonna make him see clearly, you know? Well, I can't because of all the cars. I'm not able to get through the cars because they're solid. They're made of solid material. You know what I mean? And he's gonna go, oh yeah, oh no, I didn't know they were solid. That's right. Yeah, you can't drive through the cars. I'll just go back to my car and wait. I'm sorry. That's not gonna happen. But he kept yelling at me, so I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna argue with this guy. I'll argue with him. But I'm going to argue about something else. I'm not going to have his argument. I'm going to have mine. So he goes, move it! And I go, well, give me back my jacket! And he stopped. And I was like, yeah, you got my jacket! Give it back! Now! I want it! He got scared. Got back in his car and he locked his doors, so, you know, that's what I do from now on. One time I saw a guy in a bicycle and he was about to get hit with a car door. It was horrible. And he wasn't looking, and the lady opening the door wasn't looking. It was just for me. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, I wanted to yell something, but what do you yell? And I'm trying to, at time slows down, I'm trying to choose the thing to yell that will have all the information that he needs. Because it was happening really fast. I had that much time to yell, you know, what can I yell in that much time? It's, hey, you the guy in the bike! Oh, you know, that's not... She's gonna open the door again! Shit! So I just yelled out, bad thing! Wasn't really specific enough. Oh, well. This is weird. One time I was at a party, and a friend of mine goes to me, hey, is that your guitar behind you? So I looked at the guitar, and I was like, no, that's not mine. The weird thing is I don't have a guitar. I've never had one. So why am I looking? I don't have to look. It really can't be mine. I should just be able to go, no, and I am not looking. I don't need to. You ever do this? You know when you tell somebody a story, and then a week later you tell them the same story again because you forgot? And by this time you've added a bunch of lies to it.
But I was raised Catholic, and I ended up walking away from that because I didn't like it. You know why? Because they tell you you're going to hell. And they tell little kids that. You're 5 years old in the church with all its majesty and all the buildings and the clothes. They go up to a 5-year-old and they're like, oh, you're going to hell. Oh, yeah. You're going right to hell. And you're 5, and you're like, what did I do? And the church is like, you know what you did, you piece of shit. And you're going to full hell, too. There's no kids' hell, you understand? You're going right to the show. If you're 5 years old, you steal a crayon from your sister, and then you lie about it, you get hit by a truck, you're roommates with Hitler. There's no difference. There's no difference. They take you in a room, and they're pouring hot lead into Hitler's asshole. He's like, nine! And then you walk in there like, all right, step up, it's your turn. Hitler's like, oh, good luck, little fella. Poor Hitler, man. I mean, at this point, he's been down there for 75 years. He's probably nice now. Hitler's probably nice to newcomers in hell, you know. Hi, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. What's that? Oh, yeah, okay. I was so scared of hell when I was a kid. I remember when I found out that gay people go to hell, according to the church, and I got scared. Because I'm not gay, but what if God thinks I'm gay? What if I come off a little queer to the Lord? What if he happens to glance at me when I hit my toe and I'm like, ow? He's like, huh, I know where you're going, you faggot. I mean, that's their thing. I don't believe that. God doesn't hate you because you're gay. God made you gay because he hates you. No. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. There's no God.
But I'm glad you're here, and I really hope that this goes well. For your sake, because here's the thing. I could ruin your night. Let's be really clear. I have the potential to ruin your night in a way that will resonate for weeks. That'll actually change. And listen, this is a lot of people. This is a responsibility, what I'm talking about here, because there's about 3,000 people here, and if I release this many people into the community angry, that could have an impact on what history would have been. Like if I just came out here and said hi, and then I just went and then just shit my pants, and then I just leave. And you sit there, he's not just gonna shit his pants and leave. And the lights come on, the ushers are like, let's go, that's the show. And you're like, what the fuck, man? You'd be so upset. You'd go home yelling at the person in your group whose idea it was to come here. Why did you want to see him? Well, I didn't know he was gonna shit his pants. I never even heard of that.
Sorry I'm being so negative. I'm a bummer. I don't know. I shouldn't be. I'm a very, lucky guy. I got a lot going for me. I'm healthy. I'm relatively young. I'm white, which thank God for that shit, boy. That is a huge leg up. Are you kidding me? Oh, God, I love being white. I really do. Seriously, if you're not white, you're missing out because this shit is thoroughly good. But let me be clear, by the way. I'm not saying that white people are better. I'm saying that being white is clearly better. Who could even argue? If it was an option, I would re-up every year. Oh yeah, I'll take white again, absolutely. I've been enjoying that. I'm gonna stick with white, thank you. Here's how great it is to be white. I could get in a time machine and go to any time, and it would be fucking awesome when I get there. That is exclusively a white privilege. Black people can't fuck with time machines. A black guy in a time machine is like, hey, anything before 1980? No, thank you, I don't want to go. But I can go to any time. The year 2, I don't even know what's happening then. But I know when I get there, welcome, we have a table right here for you, sir. Thank you. Oh, it's lovely here in the year 2. I can go to any time. In the past. I don't want to go to the future and find out what happens to white people because we're going to pay hard for this shit. You got to know that. We're not going to just fall from number 1 to 2. They're going to hold us down and fuck us in the ass forever. And we totally deserve it. But for now, Now, if you're white and you don't admit that it's great, you're an asshole. It is great. And I'm a man. How many advantages could one person have? I'm a white man. You can't even hurt my feelings. What can you really call a white man that really digs deep? Hey, cracker. Oh, ruined my day. Boy, shouldn't have called me a cracker. Bringing me back to owning land and people. What a drag. I am married, though. That takes me down a few pegs. I'm curious about God. I'm curious about his life. I'm curious about God's existence. What's that like to be God? You know, we don't know anything about him. I think one reason people don't believe in him because we don't have a sense of God, because it doesn't say anything anymore. He used to talk all the time. He used to go up to people on the street. Hey, everybody does that. I'm writing on the rocks. Look at that! Do it! And it was confused. Everybody's like, oh, okay, trying to figure it out. And then for 2,000 years, he just, nothing, says nothing. And everybody's fighting. He could clear a lot of shit up with a 5-minute press conference. If God spoke for 5 minutes, he'd solve a lot of problems. He'd just show up, all right, everybody, yeah, I'm the Lord, okay. Real quick. First of all, Mormons just, no. What is that? Just go home. Also, Jews with the little things, what the fuck, I don't know. Put a hat on or don't, nobody gives a shit. This is weird, I hate these. I hate them. I send everybody with one of those to hell every day. I do, it's just my thing, just so you know. Do what you want, but that's where you're going. Now you know. Also, I don't care who you fuck, I don't care. It never mattered. It was Adam and Eve and Steve, they were all fucking each other. I was jerking off to it, it was a great time. So it's not an issue for me. I don't know why it is for you. Have fun and use all the holes, that's what I say. Also, you're supposed to fuck the animals. That's why I made them. Why are you not fucking the animals? There's only like 30,000 of you fucking the animals. What are the rest of you? You're eating them? That's disgusting. What is wrong with you? How could you eat a perfectly fuckable pig? Saith the Lord.
I mean, what am I capable of? I'd like to think that I'm a nice person, but I don't know, man. A lot of it is context. There's a lot of things I wonder if the world was different. Like if murder was legal, I might have killed a few people. I don't know. I'd love to think, oh, I would never do that. But we really need the law against murder. For one simple reason. The law against murder is the #1 thing preventing murder. We'd like to think it's because like, oh, I would never do that. No, it's because it really sucks getting caught murdering. A lot. If murder was legal or just a misdemeanor, like you get a thing in the mail, ah, shit, they had a camera there. Well, if murder was legal, there would be so much murder. Regular people would murder. Murderers would murder even more. And then really nice, sweet people would murder a few people. But nobody would murder no people. You wouldn't trust somebody who didn't murder. If murder was legal, you wouldn't like them. I never killed anybody. Okay, nice meeting you. Ugh. What a creep. I mean, not even a hooker. Live a life. What's wrong with that guy? He's like a Mormon or some shit. I hate those guys. I think he's nice. Shut up, Janet. It would just... If murder was legal, there would be a lot of murder. Children would behave very differently. Because mostly parents would be murdering their own kids. That's mostly what would happen if murder was legal. You'd be, you go to a mall, there'd be like 8 different moms in the mall just, I told you to stop it! You didn't listen to me! You'd be stepping over dead kids. It would be like a new problem. You have to clean up your kids when you kill them, because it's gross. It's bad for the environment. If you murder your child in a public place, please use one of the red bags that are in the dispensers every 3 feet of America. Put your murdered child in the red bag with a logo of a murdered kid on it. Next to the other logo that tells you not to let your alive kid play with a plastic bag because they might suffocate. In which case, you could just leave them in the bag. That is a whole bunch of horrible thoughts right in a row. Right in a row. That is a compressed area of bad thought.
You know what I was thinking about today? I was thinking about Jesus. I was. Today, I was thinking about Jesus. And after I came, I thought, well, I feel sorry for Jesus. That's how I feel. I don't know how much you know about Jesus, but I feel fucking bad for Jesus, man. I do. He had a hard life. I mean, the last day was particularly difficult, but if you look at pictures of him, he had to wear that thong, that fucking just dish rag yanked up his balls. Just, carrying his cross like, fuck, just a rash. Some people say you should live like Jesus. Who can live? He was insane. You can't live like that. He had a weird life. I'm reading about Jesus. I have this book about Jesus. I'm going to share it with you. Okay. This is a book about Jesus. Actually, only this much is about Jesus. Only that, just that part. The rest of it is just the Jews going like, and then we walked for 50 years in the desert, and we only had a little bit of oil. It was difficult. It's fucking verbose. The Jew, look at that, just Jews. It just goes on and on. And then Jacob bought a goat, and Abraham lived to be 800. Yeah, I bet he fucking did, too. The Jews in the early chapters are all like 800 years old. And then God was like, I can with these fucking Jews for 800 years. Heart disease starts today. So that's them, and that's Jesus. Oh, this little part's Jesus. And the weird part is it's not all, like, it's all the same story over and over again. They tell the same story about Jesus' life over and over. First Matthew tells it, and then Mark is like, dude, that's not what, you're fucking drunk. Here's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. Hey, Paul, you weren't even here. Shut the fuck up. And I started reading it because I never read it. I was raised Catholic, but they don't encourage you to read the church. They don't. They don't want you to read this. You know, Jews read this shit in Hebrew. And Baptists sit down, they read together, but the Catholics, they want you to come in the building. They want you to come in, and they tell you. And you're like, can I read it? And they're like, no, I'll tell you what happened. You know, sorry, put the book down. But it's interesting because when you read the stories, you know, you think of them as lofty, kind of like, but some of them are just basic life in the Jesus life. Okay, here's one. This is when he turned water into wine. This is his first miracle. This is John chapter 2, okay? Okay, and on the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the wedding. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus saith unto him, they have no wine here. And Jesus saith unto her, woman, what have I to do with thee? Just life. Mary was a fucking alcoholic. He took her to a wedding, and there's no fucking wine, Jesus. What am I supposed to do here without wine? And he's like, Mom! Don't! Anyway, you know the rest of the story is that Jesus, he's at the wedding, they had no wine. So Jesus went to the guy running the wedding, and he was like, look in the water barrel. Like that, like a close-up magician. Why don't you take a look? Maybe it's not the Red Queen. Go ahead and flip that card over. What do you think? Told him to look in the water barrel, and he looked, and it was wine. He had turned all their water into wine. Everybody rejoiced. Except the guy running the wedding was probably like, we did need some water. It's actually a bigger problem. I have a feeling a lot of his miracles were met with mixed. Like, oh, thanks. That's great, Jesus. Fuck. Like Lazarus. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. And Jesus comes to town and he says, Lazarus, rise. And Lazarus comes out of the tomb like, and Lazarus' wife is like, are you fucking kidding me right now? But so here's a story though I want to read to you. This story, I've never seen it in a Jesus movie. This story is not in any movies about Jesus. And it's not, I've never, until I sat and read this, I never heard this story. Because it's weird. This is the story of Jesus cursing a fig tree. Does anybody by applause know of this story? Okay, that's just enough to make it clear. This is true. I mean, nothing's true in here. But I'm just kidding. I don't fucking know. What do I know? I wasn't there. I'm just trying to make it clear that I didn't make it up. They did. But anyway, all right, I don't know. Okay, here's the story. This is Mark chapter 11. It's when Mark went broke. Okay. And Jesus entered into Jerusalem, and when he had looked around about and seen all things, and the eventide was come, he went out unto Bethany with the 12. See, Bethany was like a suburb of Jerusalem. So he went in Jerusalem. You know, you see all the shit downtown, but you don't stay downtown. You go to the Marriott by the airport. You know? That's what Bethany was. Okay? And on the morrow, when they come from Bethany, Jesus was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar off, having leaves, he came to it, if haply he might find anything thereon. But when he came to the tree, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet. And Jesus answered and saith unto the tree, no man shall eat fruit of thee hereafter and forever. And the disciples heard it. And in the morning when they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots and dead. And Peter, calling to remembrance, saith unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou dost cursest has withered away and died. And Jesus answered and saith unto them, Have faith in God. What the fuck kind of a Jesus story is that? Hey, Jesus, you killed a tree. That's right, motherfucker. What's the fucking point to this story? What is the moral? That Jesus just killed a tree. He was hungry. He was fucking cranky. He was like, there's no fig. Fuck you, tree. You're fucking dead, you piece of shit. I wanted a fig. You're fucking dead. Watch this. And the tree's like, but the time of figs is not yet. It's just not yet. I need another week. You want fruit out of season? Go to Whole Foods, you fucking Jew. I didn't do anything. I mean, you can't act like that, man. You can't act like that. You walk around acting like that, folks will nail you to a cross. That's what they'll do. They will. You gotta fucking cool it, Jesus. He got a little, you know? That's really what happened. Got a little shitty. A little big, you know? He went to Jerusalem. It's a big town for a boy from Galilee. And he didn't just walk into Jerusalem. He walked in and his friends were like, King of the Jews, y'all! King of the motherfucking Jews! The Jews didn't like that. The Jews are like, not my president, whatever, you know. So they nailed him to a cross. This is what they did. And this, the weirdest thing to me about Catholicism and all Christianity is this image. This image is the image of the biggest, most powerful religion, the cleanest religion. And it's a fucking dead guy with nails, just blood. And it's in every polite room in the world. Every nice, quiet place is a fucking Jesus. And the president and his wife, and they wear pearls, and then we always go to look at the fucking, it's just weird. Because it promotes nicely ideas like honor thy mother and thy father. Because they, it's just macabre. But I love it. I love the image. I love it. I was raised Catholic my whole life. I love this image. I stare at it. Every time I go by a church, if it's open, I go in because I want to see their Jesus. They all have a different Jesus. They're a little different. Some of them he's really suffering. And some of them he's just like, oh, well. I really got myself in a noodle this time, boy. Sometimes it's just a cross, like, oh, fuck, where'd he go? Jesus got away. But they're all different. I was in a Korean church, and I saw a Korean Jesus. They had a Korean Jesus with the... Don't get mad. How else would I know? It was just, what, Korean Jesus? Ooh, whatever. Jesus looks different everywhere. Mostly Jesus has blonde hair and blue eyes, which we know he didn't have, but that's who won everything, so they get to draw him. The truth is Jesus was black, but you don't see that often, black Jesus. Hey man, get me the fuck down from here. Whatever, all right. But everybody wants Jesus to look like them, so they draw him to look like them. That's why I don't like that he's always skinny. Jesus always rail, just fucking, I've been doing Pilates for months getting ready for this. It's not fair. You never see a fat Jesus. I never one time saw like just a fat Jesus. with like 10 nails in each hand. He might have been fat. We don't know. I'll tell you what Jesus was not, is Korean. There's no Koreans in Jerusalem in the year 1.
My wife and I, we've been married for about 9 years now, so we're almost done. And after 9 years and 2 kids, you start looking at each other like, no, no, I'm not gonna just keep doing this. Who would do that? We went to therapy for a while, and the therapist was like, one day he goes, you should go on a date. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm not going. I did go on a date with my wife, and I don't think I'm gonna call her again. It wasn't really fun. Some things do get easier as you've been married for a while. You start to understand each other better, and you start looking at yourself more. You spend a lot of your marriage looking at the other person and trying to change them or figure them out. And then you start realizing what you're bringing to the table, and you blame them less for shit, you know? Like, my wife will never fuck me again. I know that now. But I just feel differently about it. I used to get mad. I used to be like, she hasn't fucked me in months. How could she do that to me? Now I look at myself, and I'm like, how did she fuck me for years? She fucked me for years. She couldn't possibly have enjoyed most of those fucks. Which means she took about 500 for the team. You gotta respect that shit. I think it's hard for women to have sex if they don't feel like it. It's not a skill they have generally. Men have it, that's just different. We have different sexual skills. Men can fuck whatever, we don't care. We'll fuck you if we don't like you, everybody knows that. But we'll fuck you even if we don't feel like fucking you. Even if we're not hard. Like, I'll fuck you, give me a second, I'll find a way. We don't care. We'll fuck things. We'll fuck a rusty keyhole nailed to a donkey's ass. We don't give a shit. We are jizz on demand. We just have we don't care. Women have another skill, which is that they can decide whether or not to have sex with their minds, which is amazing to me. A woman can decide not to fuck in the middle of fucking. That is so weird to me that they can just stop because of some other shit that distracted them. If I'm fucking you, you could show me a picture of you cutting my mom's head off. And I'll be like, whoa. As soon as I come, we're gonna have a talk about that picture. That's really... Hi. It's nice to see you. It's nice. Let's talk about some shit. I always want to start conversations that way. Just get right to the talking. Let's talk about some shit. It's always disappointing to me when people talk about the weather, because that means you didn't really want to talk about anything. You know, like I was in my elevator today. I got in my elevator, and one of my neighbors got on. I don't know his name. I'll die not knowing his name. But we're on the elevator, so we look at each other, and there's that moment. And there's always that moment where, like, maybe something could happen. There's a little potential in that moment. And you wait and you go, it's cold. Fuck, nothing happened. Like, you cop out. And you just say meaningless shit. You have a competition of how stupid you can be. Oh, I can't believe 8 months ago it was 50 degrees out. But what if you didn't do that? What if you didn't cop out? What if you just let the moment linger? Don't go to the weather and just, maybe you could have a real moment. You just stand there, look at each other. I haven't talked to my dad in 8 years.
Life is short. Life is very short. I like life. I like it. I feel like even if it ends up being short, I got lucky to have it, because life is an amazing gift when you think about what you get with a basic life. Not even a particularly lucky life or a healthy life. If you have a life, here's your boilerplate deal with life. This is basic cable, what you get. when you get life. You get to be on Earth. First of all, oh my God, what a location. This is Earth, and for trillions of miles in every direction, it fucking sucks so bad. It's so shitty that your eyes bolt out of your head because it sucks so bad. You get to be on Earth and look at shit. As long as you're not blind or whatever it is, you get to be here, you get to eat food, you get to put bacon in your mouth. I mean, when you have bacon in your mouth, it doesn't matter who's president or anything. You just, Every time I'm eating bacon, I think I could die right now, and I mean it. That's how good life is. You get to fuck. That's free if you're smart. That comes with. That's part of the deal. Where else are you gonna get that deal? You get to put your dick in there and go in and out. Pretty good. And if you're a woman, you get to just lay back and just have a dick just shoving in and out of you awkwardly. Anytime you want. Anytime you want. If you're a gay man, you get to just fill your boyfriend's ass with your dick. Just fill it all the way to the balls. And it's nice and warm and tight in there. And he's your buddy. If you're a lesbian, you get to do all the stuff they're doing. And, it's a great deal. You get to eat, you get to fuck, you get to read To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a great life. So when I'm not worried about it ending. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't judge my mom though, you know. She did the best she could. She raised us, you know. She didn't have a lot of money. My mom would take us shopping. She would always buy the shittiest crackers. The worst. She would buy us these saltine crackers with no salt on them. Like they were saltless saltine crackers. And you could tell they actually made them saltines and then used a credit card and scraped off the salt. And I would say to my mom, why do you buy those? They're disgusting. She said, well, then you won't eat them and they'll last longer. If I buy the good crackers, they'll be gone in 3 days. But the bad ones last for weeks. What the fuck kind of way is that to raise a kid? Just give them wood chips and... It's tough, man. It's hard being a parent. It's really complicated having kids. So shut up. Don't do it. You're boring. My daughter just figured out lying. And that's an interesting thing. It's an interesting place to be. She's figured out how to lie. My 9-year-old, 10-year-old, doesn't matter. Really doesn't. It really doesn't. I look at her face, I don't give a shit what age she is. She's that. When she lies, I know she's lying, because all kids suck at lying. But I don't really know what to do about it, to be honest with you. Because I want her to be an honest child, but I also want her to have a good life. And I get lying. I get it. I do it all the time. And I have since I was her age, so I totally get it. When she lies, it's because she's in trouble. That's why kids lie. Little kids, little 9-year-old kids, they don't lie because of some weird Machiavellian, you know. Do you know what my teacher said about you? It's interesting. Like, she's not trying to start some shit. Kids lie because they're in trouble. Because trouble is too much for a kid. Kids can't take trouble. We're grown-ups. When we're in trouble, we just go, oh, sorry. Oh, am I in trouble now? Whoops. But for a little 9-year-old kid, trouble is like a monster. Just, did you take the chocolate? Did you take it?
No.
Well, all right then. Have a nice day.
How do you then tell her, yeah, don't apply that perfect method ever again to terrifying moments of your life? Mark Twain once said, a man who always tells the truth doesn't have to remember what he said. Mark Twain said that. That's pretty cool. But Mark Twain also said, there once was a big black guy named Nigger Jim. So I don't know if 100% of the things Mark Twain said were perfectly awesome. I mean, seriously, Mark, you couldn't come up with a better name than Nigger Jim? Well, it's got a nice ring to it. Yeah, but it's kind of on the nose, ain't it? But it's nice having a girlfriend. It's better than being married, because, you know, with a girlfriend you can switch. And marriage is, fuck, that's hard. I feel bad for people that are in a bad marriage. If you're in a bad marriage, by the way, you know what you should do? Just stay home. Don't make people, just self-quarantine. Don't make people fucking look at you. You know those couples that come over for dinner and they're holding a gun to each other's heads like, hi, thanks for having us. Fuck. There's always that awful moment at dinner. One of them's like, we saw that show on Wednesday. The other one's like, it wasn't Wednesday. I'm gonna fucking puke because of your life. Oh, that's bad. I was on an airplane one time, and a married couple came on, and they had been sat separately. There was some mistake, so they're trying to figure it out. And the woman, she's supposed to sit here, she comes up to me and she says, would you mind moving so I can sit with my husband? And he's behind her, he's like, and I wanted to help him. But what am I going to say to his wife? Just, no, I won't move. Then I have to sit with her. So I just got off the plane. I didn't go on the trip. I got off the plane, and it took off, and it hit the World Trade Center. So that was bad. I'll never forget that day. Oh, fuck, that was so unnecessary. That was wildly unnecessary. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I'm fucking mentally ill. I don't know what it is. I've been thinking about this. You know, I think the thing is, I think I learned too early in my life that when I say something and people get angry, I just like how that feels. I don't know why, but I learned it too early. I think that's the problem. I learned that when I was 6. That's too young for that kind of, you know. I learned all the bad words when I was 6. I learned them all in one day from this old dude who hung around our neighborhood. I don't know if he lived there or what, but there was this old dude with a shitty coat and a dark tooth that was always walking around my neighborhood. And if you were a kid walking alone, he'd walk up and, hey, talk to you. Because it was the 70s. You could just walk up to kids and talk to them. Now you can't even fuck them. It's crazy how things are. I'm sorry. I know it's wrong to fuck kids, by the way. Just to be clear, I know that fucking children is wrong. I don't even need to be told, I just know that it's wrong. I would know it was wrong even if it was popular. Even if people were like, you should fuck kids, it's great. I wouldn't do it. Even if kids came up to me all the time, you should fuck me, I like it, I wouldn't mind at all. I would say, no, thank you, young man. Even if doctors proved that it was beneficial to the health of children to fuck them, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't fuck a kid to save his life. That's even if somebody said to me, if you fuck just this one kid, then no kid will ever get fucked ever again. I might have to fuck that one kid. That might be the right thing to do. I'm saving all those kids.
I'm saving them all. Not you. Not you. You're the last one. Just hypothetically. Anyway, so the old man came up to me on the street. And he said, hey, do you want to know all the bad words? And I said, yes, I think I do. So he was like, all right, okay, fuck, shit, piss, dick, balls, ass, cock, diarrhea, pussy, fart, cum. And I was like, just felt so good. I went to school, I went right up to my teacher, I said, fuck, shit, piss, dick, balls, ass, cock, diarrhea, cum, fart. And she started crying. It's a true story. She was like, ah! I started crying. I had a boner. I was so happy. It's the best moment of my life. I had to go to the principal's office. He said, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? I said, no, but I eat her pussy with it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, relationships are tough. That's what I'm talking about. My mom died last year, and we asked her, like, what do you want? Like, before she died, we didn't ask her. Mom! Fuck! I asked my mom what she wanted us to do with her body, and she said, just burn it. That's what she said. Burn it. What, in the yard with leaves? What the fuck? She didn't want a funeral, no pageantry, nothing. So she booked it herself. That was her last act as an American consumer. She went online with a credit card and she booked her own cremation. It's true. At a place called Boston Crematorium. Just this place that burns bums and dogs all day. And they just folded my mom and did a workload. We didn't even know, just this guy showed up. I'm here for you, Ma. All right, Sully, she's in there. And he went in there to prepare her. My sisters are waiting in the hall, and he was in there for a while. I didn't say anything. I'm just saying he was in there with my mom for a long time. That's all I'm saying. And also that I was worried he was fucking my dead mother. Anyway, then he brought her out in a kind of a nice bag, and he put her in a van, just his van. It was like a '98 Ford Windstar with a bottle of red Gatorade rolling around in the back. It's the last time I saw my mom. It's what she wanted. Because she didn't believe in this God shit. She just didn't.
But it's important to me to do a good job because it's my job. I mean, also you paid me, and you paid me. I get money from every ticket, so your money is mine now. I own it now, and it's gonna be gone tomorrow. I'm a piece of shit. I don't save money. If I die tonight, my kids are homeless tomorrow morning. Someone's gonna wake them up. Your daddy's dead. Get your shit and get out. Because I don't save money. I think it's arrogant to save money. You shit it out. Money is like oxygen. It's not my money, it's the money. I could die tomorrow, so fuck it, I spend it. I didn't buy my mom a house. You're supposed to have that musical montage when you get a TV show where you take your mom to the, oh, look at it. I didn't do that. She's my mom, but she's not me. Why would I buy her a house? But,
I hate New York, I really do. I used to love New York, but I hate it now. I'd rather be in Auschwitz than New York City, honestly. I would. I mean Auschwitz now. I mean today Auschwitz. Not back when it was open. I mean now. It's nice now. There's a gift shop. People go there on purpose. They buy tickets. I think that's weird. That people buy tickets to Auschwitz. That's weird. If you could have told those people back then, people are gonna buy tickets to come here. Yeah, wrap your head around that. Jew.
That's all right. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, never again, I promise. That's what we say about the Holocaust, never again. Because they killed 6 million Jews. If they only killed like 10,000, would it be like, okay, 2 more times? And then taper off, because it's a little much. I'll tell you, I went to Auschwitz. This is a true story. I actually did go to Auschwitz because I was doing shows in Poland. Because I had to go to Poland to do shows. So I was in Krakow. I was in Krakow, so I went to the camp. And I went there because of a very personal reason, because I had family there. I had a lot of family there. 44 members of my family were in Auschwitz during World War II. I mean, they were guards, they worked there. But no. They were Jews and they died. It's okay, don't be offended. It's true, we lost the whole family there. Everybody, because we were Hungarian Jews. My grandfather, on my father's side, he's the only one who made it. The rest of them, all 44 of them, went to Auschwitz, which I think they really regretted. But that's what happened, because the Hungarians sent all their Jews to. They weren't even occupied Hungary. They're just like, yeah, take our Jews. And they sent my whole family there, and they all died in Auschwitz, except for him. My grandfather's the only one who made it, because he got the fuck out of there before it started. In the late 20s, he fucking smelled that shit, and he got the fuck out. And he went to Mexico. He migrated to Mexico. And we found his immigration card. My uncle and I did the family history, and we found it. It says nationality, Hungarian, and it says religion, Catholic. And there's a picture of him like... He's like, fuck it, they don't know what a Jew looks like in Mexico. That's where I'm going. And that's why I'm alive, because he made that choice. It's also why I'm not Jewish. He was like, Jew schmoo, we're not fucking Jewish. Somos católicas. That was my abuelito. Became a fucking Mexican fast. That's what happened. That's how he made it. He's a fascinating guy, my grandfather. His name was Geza. That was his name. And he had a brother named Geza. It's weird, but I looked it up, and here's what happened. His parents had a baby, and they named it Geza, and it died. The baby died. So they had another one, and they just said, fuck it, Geza, let's just do it again. Because that's what it was like. The babies died. It was no big deal back then. It was just like, yeah, that was a shitty baby. Let's do another one. Why'd your baby die? Because it sucked. Why does any baby die? At least we found out quick. Fuck it, this one's good. That's what it was like forever until recently. The human race was all the good babies, and the shitty ones, that's just the way it worked. It's not like that now. Now we save every baby. The shittier the baby, the bigger the effort. Because we love it. We love saving the shitty babies. There's always a documentary. Look at this baby. He's a fucking mess. Do you see that shit? We're gonna save it. Make it live. And the baby's like, please don't. But we don't like when babies die. We get more upset when a baby dies. Why? Who knows this baby? Did you hear about Jeff? No, he was here for 1 day. Nobody met him. And then if you die when you're old, nobody gives a shit. They're like, he was here long enough. Fuck him. You ever tell somebody, like, your grandmother died? My grandmother died. You're like, I'm so sorry. How old was she? She was 98. Oh. So why'd you even tell me?
At least you should be good just to the people, just turn a good face to the people that you see in life. I don't do that either. Because when I get in the elevator in my building, that's my first contact with human beings always, after being home and just being disgusting for hours. Then I come out in the elevator, and there's always a guy in my elevator who's nice, and I hate it. I get really upset when people say nice things to me. That's not a good impulse. I get in the elevator, and there's always this one guy who he sticks his face right in the front of his fucking head, And hi, like he just floats it out there like a big balloon, you know? Hey, how's it going? Ugh. I get upset, I get cagey, I get this weird impulse that I want to come on his face. I don't know why that's the thing, but that's what I think about, is that I wish I could just secrete cum without the sexual workup, like as a defense, you know, like a squid or a skunk. Not sexually, I mean aggressively. Hi. Jesus, man. You just came in my eye. I just want to go downstairs. I don't want to talk. All right, this is going a little off the rails. I don't remember what I was trying to say. I'd like to be a better person. I would. I'd like to be a better person.
Like one time I was standing on a street corner and I was eating a peach, and this guy starts waving at me from across the street. And what do you do when someone waves at you? You just wave back. Your arm just shoots up there. And I had a peach, so I'm waving the peach at the guy. And then I realized that he's not waving at me. I don't even know the fucking guy. He's waving at a guy behind me. So I'm just waving a peach at nobody. People looking at me. I didn't want to stop waving because I would be admitting that I fucked up, you know? I just kept waving it. I just started going, look at my peach! I have a peach! Look at it! Then people were afraid of me. That's respect.
Here's the thing, men, our biggest fear in life is that we're gonna get caught being a kid fucker. That's every guy's biggest fear. Even if you would never do it, every guy's like, that's what's gonna happen to me, I know it. It's like being afraid of sharks when you live in the desert. Like, I don't go to the ocean, but it's gonna happen. Because it's a fear not based in its likelihood, but in how horrible it would be if it happened. Because when they catch a pedophile, holy fuck. Holy shit. It's brutal because we're scared. We're so scared of pedophilia because it's here and it's not going anywhere. That's a fact. It's not like there's a finite amount of pedophiles and we got the last one. No, it keeps happening. Every generation, there's more. Some of you have kids and some of them are gonna grow up and fuck kids. They might, you know? Okay, now, of course not yours for some reason, but they're coming from someplace. So, any real solution has to start with the basic reality that there will always be pedophiles. Not a great thought. I understand it's not uplifting. You wouldn't put that on a fridge magnet. Or on your screensaver at the office. There will always be pedophiles. Hey, where's Jim? He's not at his desk. We do. We have to start with that reality because our solutions that we have so far don't really work. Here's our current solution to pedophilia. We wait till somebody fucks about 10,000 kids, and then we go, all right, you better cut that out. That's pretty much it. There's no measures for preventing it. None. We have no policy to prevent we're not even just like a street sign. There's a street sign for everything. No hunting, no spitting, no skateboarding. I've never seen a don't fuck a child sign in the world. I've been all over the world. Not even just like a picture of a guy fucking a kid with a line through it. So that it transcends language barriers. I mean, try it. You won't get most of them with the sign. But even if one out of 50 of them is like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was an issue. That's money well spent. There's things that might work and we don't even try them. Like, is anybody working on very realistic child sex dolls? Okay, then let them fuck your kids forever. If that's better, I'm so sorry for suggesting something that might actually work. Oh no. Let them fuck both my sons, but don't make a doll. That would be distasteful. The thing is that I'm still talking about it. This problem, we lose things because we won't really face it, you know, that are important to us, like the Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts, wonderful thing. Being sued out of existence because of all the kid fuckery that goes on. And I know it's upsetting because, look, here's the thing. The Boy Scouts is a wonderful thing for kids. They go to the woods. They work together. They learn skills. They get in touch with nature. What could it be better for a boy than that? But some of those guys want to fuck the kids. I don't think they do it a lot. It's not like there's just a shitload of kids being fucked in the Boy Scouts. I think it's mostly that they find out that the guy wants to. I don't actually know, though. I don't. Do you know why I don't know? Because I'm afraid to look it up. I'll go to prison for typing it into a Google. How do you solve a problem if you're afraid to fucking look it up? How many Boy Scouts get fucked on a... Oh, shit! Every time I move, I gotta tell my neighbors that I looked that up. Here's what happens. Every few years, you find out there's some pedophile-type people in the Boy Scouts, and then they announce, we got them all. We're good. And then a year later, oh, there's a bunch more. What's going on here? At some point, you got to wake up to the basic fact that maybe the people who are best suited to give your kids these wonderful experiences are folks that want to fuck them. Maybe that's why they're good at it. Maybe that's, if you want that, that's where you go. Maybe that's just the way that goes. Who else would want to take a bunch of kids to the fucking woods? Who wants to take your shit kid to the fucking woods? You don't want to take him. Who else would want to do that except people that are barely containing that they want to fuck every kid in the face? That's why they're good at it. That's what makes them good at it. I'm not saying that all scoutmasters are pedophiles. I might be saying that the best ones are. I might be saying that. That sounds right. So I don't know. If you have to lose the whole thing, just tell your kids. Some of those guys want to fuck you. Just be careful. Have a good time. Take the contribution from where it comes. Michael Jackson, wonderful music. Blessed us with wonderful music. Did some other things too. What's worse? A pedophile who makes beautiful music or one that doesn't? This is the choices. No pedophiles is not on the menu.
I don't care. I'm all sweaty. I don't feel good. I ate too much and masturbated too recently. You know, that kind of... You know, it's bad to like jerk off and run out the door because you run into somebody, oh, she knows, like you gotta take some time alone to get it, process the shame. And I can't stop eating. Today, I weighed myself today. I don't know why. I'm not using the information. It's not guiding my behavior. Why am I bothering to find out exactly how much of a piece of shit I am? I weighed myself, and I usually hover around 230, 240 today. 240. I weigh 240 pounds, which is not, no, it's not okay. Because there's no way, like, you know when you go to a doctor, they give you like a formula for how much your weight, like a rule of thumb. I'm pretty sure it's not your age plus 200 pounds. That doesn't seem like... Like, I was watching a boxing match today, and both guys, they weighed 110 pounds each. So, both of those guys still need a fat baby and a dead dog to make me. And it's really bad because I'm 40 and my doctor's like, yeah, you gotta be less people. You can't be so much. And he just told me this is bad. And he starts asking me about my eating habits, you know? Like there's habits, like there's a pattern. It's just chaos and awfulness. It's just desperate constant. He's like, how many meals and how many bowel movements a day? I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea. It's just a blur. I'm just shitting and eating all day. I pack my body to capacity and then blow it out my asshole. That's it. Every shit is an emergency. Does that give you some idea of my eating habits? And he's trying to get a handle on my. He's like, dude, okay, look. Well, how soon into a meal do you typically feel full and stop eating? I'm like, I don't stop eating when I'm full. The meal is not over when I'm full. The meal is over when I hate myself. That's when I stop. I guess normal people eat till they're like, oh, that's all the nutrition I require right there. I just reached it. I will cease the intake now and convert this into useful energy throughout the day. No. Every time I eat, it ends with me, why the fuck did I eat that? Dude, get it away. I don't want to look at that shit. That's all. It's all right here, too. It's like, I got syrup in my veins, like for blood. I got syrup. It's gonna be bad later.
The worst part of my day, worst part of every day of my life, is when I have to put on my socks. Putting on my socks is the worst part of every day. And it always will be. Even if I have a terrible day in the future where my grandmother is murdered by my other grandmother. If that ever happened to me, the worst part of that day will be when I put on my socks. But if I had to put on my socks, that means here's what I have to do. I have to get my hands past my pointed toe. I don't even know how I do it. I'm sitting here, I don't know how I do that. It's because it's like folding a bowling ball in half. And as soon as I start, I can feel I'm pushing all the fat up into my vital organs. And I just feel all the systems failing. Beep, beep, beep. And I have to I have to lay on my back like an 8-year-old and go like this. And I start passing out. And I know other people's lives are hard. I know. I saw an interview on TV with Michael J. Fox. And he has Parkinson's. And he was describing brushing his teeth. He said it takes him 2 hours a day. And he said it's agony. And I saw this and I thought, okay, that's hard. That is hard. And so is putting on my socks. Sorry, Michael. Doesn't make it easier to know about your thing. Tell you what, I'll help you brush your teeth, you help me with the socks. And I think I'm getting worse as a person. Because as you get older, you start finding out, let me give you an example before I rented a car a couple weeks ago in Los Angeles, had the car for a few days, and then when I went home, I had to drop the car at the rental place. You know, you gotta go to the rental place that's off the airport, give them the car, give them your thing with the mileage, you gotta get on a bus, and then go to your terminal and check in. I was late, and I was worried about missing my flight, so I knew I had no time to do any of that. So I never did this before, I just drove my car right to the terminal and just left it there. And I got on the plane. And once I was on the plane and I had a little moment, I called Hertz, and I said, hey, listen, your car is sitting out in front of Terminal 4, and the keys are in it. So that's where it is. And the guy was like, you can't do that. You have to return it to this location and then and I go, well, I didn't do that already. And now I'm leaving California. So if you want your car, you need to go to that place where it is. And he was like, oh, Jesus, man. All right, we'll get it. And that was the end of it. And I realized I could do this every time. Every time I rent a car, because of course they want you to do all that shit. But if you don't, they still want the car back. They're gonna send a dude. You could drive a car till you don't want it, just get out of it while it's moving and just walk away. Well, I don't feel like being in that car any longer. Just call her, it's hi, your car is drifting into the intersection of 28th and Broadway. If you're interested, it's now your problem. But see, this is a terrible realization because you should act in a way that if everybody acted that way, things would work out. You should, because it would be mayhem if everybody was like that. And most people kind of don't care. Most people are very selfish. Most people don't give a shit what happens as long as they get to do their favorite thing. People don't even want to back off from their favorite thing. They won't even do their second favorite thing. Like, you ever seen somebody like they're at an intersection and they want to make a left, but they're in the all the way right lane because they messed up. So now here's the guy. He's in the right lane and there's a lot of cars, like 6th Avenue, like a lot of cars, and he wants to make that left. So what does he do? He just does it anyway. He just goes ahead and he just shoves his car through everybody's life without any... And everybody's beep, honking and outraged, and you always see the guy go, I have to. There's no other possible thing I could do. What else could I do except go up one more block and then go left and take 4 seconds? That's not my favorite way, though. That only meets 99% of my criteria. But I'm selfish.
So I was watching Schindler's List today. You wanted me back, man. This is what I got. I was watching Schindler's List. It's funny because Schindler's List, when it came out, was this moment, you know? It was a document and everybody talked about it. Now it's just on. It's just on TBS. And you can just flip on by, the Jews and all that, okay. And then you flip this way and you see Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron switch bodies. And that way it's Hitler and the Jews and all that. It's just... I was watching Schindler's List and there was a scene that really, I forgot about this scene and there I saw it. There's a scene where all the Jews are being let out of Warsaw. They're being forced out of Warsaw. They got all their belongings on this road and all the people that aren't Jews are watching them leave in nice clothing. It's this horrible. And there's a little girl in this scene and she's standing on a mailbox. She's about 8 years old and she's in a pretty dress. You remember this scene. And she's watching them. She's going, "Goodbye, Jews! Goodbye, Jews!" And this really struck me, and probably the Jews too, that it happened to, because I think it must be real. There must have been that girl, and when they researched the movie, somebody told Spielberg that story, and he was like, "We're fucking doing that." That's amazing. And because I know how movies are made, I know that they had to go and find an 8-year-old girl who could nail that shit. So somewhere there's a tape of like 50 little girls trying to get the "Goodbye, Jews" part. And they're all cute, of course. They're all little girl actors. There's no little girl actresses that are like Sean Penn. I just do my thing, you know. They're going from the Hannah Montana audition to the "Goodbye, Jews" thing, taking their turn. "Hi, my name's Dorothy. I'm with William Morris." All right, Dorothy, go ahead. "Goodbye, Jews." "Goodbye, Jews." Dorothy, you're angry at them. "Oh, I'm okay." "Goodbye, Jews." "Goodbye, Jews." Okay, thank you, Dorothy. Next. Goodbye, Tooth. Goodbye, Tooth. Goodbye, Tooth. Okay, thank you very much. Next. And then comes the girl whose mother prepared her for the, "Hi, my name is Angeline. And I'm with CAA, and I'm really happy to meet you. The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow." Angeline, we just need the line. "Oh, I'm sorry. Goodbye, Jews! Goodbye, Jews!" One time I went shopping. You ever do this? I went shopping and I had no money and I forgot. You ever done that? Like, you ever just forget you're broke and like go eat a meal or something? And then you realize, whoops. And I went like I went to this department store and I got like a fucking electric toothbrush and all this stuff. And the guy goes, $85? And I was like, "Oh, I don't have any money." And he's like, "Well, you don't have enough?" "No, I don't have any." And where do you go from there, really? What's the next step from that? He didn't know either. He's like, "You want to put some items back?" Is that what you're saying? Put them all back, I think. Got to keep marking a price down until you hit zero. Because that's what I got on me. What do you do? I didn't know how to leave even. Like, all right, well, I'm all okay. I'm all set. I enjoyed picking this stuff out anyway. What do? You ever been that embarrassed in front of other people that you think there's no way they're not going to hate you for the rest of their lives? You ever just think you might as well just yell "cocksucker" and run out the door? Like, that might be the only way to save face. Just go, "Cocksucker!" and just run off. Because at least that's what they'll remember about you.
I've been doing comedy for about 30 years or something like that. It's been a long time. All right. Shouldn't take that long to get good at it. Shouldn't take that long. It's really a simple thing. You talk to people. I should have figured it out right away. But it took me a long time, and I used to hate it. I really did. First few years, I hated it because I bombed almost every show. And I remember when I started, I was like, I want to make people laugh. And for a good 5 years, I didn't make one fucking person laugh. And I realized now I don't make people laugh because I'm a comedian. I used to make people laugh. I work at a garage, and I used to make people laugh. And it was just a plus. It was just, hey, that guy at the garage, he's funny. But if the guy at the garage isn't funny, you don't go, that guy, what a piece of shit, he wasn't funny. I've been doing this a long time. I've traveled all over the country. I remember one time I worked at this club in North Carolina. I don't remember what town. It was called like, North Carolina. I don't know. North Carolina. I'm going down. Dang on my daddy. It's actually in South Carolina. Anyway, I'm in North Carolina, and I'm working at this club. I don't remember what it's called. It was called something like you're gonna kill yourself in a week. And the owner of the club comes up to me, and he says, "So, what's your shots policy?" And I said, "What?" And he said, "What's your shots policy?" I was like, this doesn't help. I need sentences. So he says, well, sometimes when a guy's on stage and the audience likes him, they want to send a shot up there and have him drink it, and everybody goes, woo! He goes, now, you want me to send you a shot of real booze or like a shot with something else in it so you don't, have to drink the booze? And I said, yeah, you know what? Don't send anything. And he goes, well, what do I say to them if they want to send you a shot? I said, tell them, no, you may not. No, you mayn't interrupt the show by sending a fucking glass of something to the guy. And he's like, well, they're going to be upset. I was like, okay, let them feel that way. What kind of entitled people are these? If you go to a football game, you're like, send the quarterback a banjo. Like to see him play banjo right about now. North Carolina.
The one thing I truly resent about my children is that they don't respect sleep. They don't. They don't give a shit. My kids get me up at 6 o'clock in the mother cunting morning. They get me up at 6 fucking fart on a kitten's twat o'clock in the morning. That's how early. I don't have to get up till 7 to get them to school, but they wake me up because they're awake. And I understand it's because they're excited about life still. When they wake up, they're like, and they want to tell me they're alive. Daddy, look, it's all still here. I'm like, I know, I'm trying to run out the clock and die. Please let me sleep. And at 6 in the morning, I am sleeping, man. I am sleeping a beautiful sleep. I am sleeping a deep, dark African sleep. I am fathoms deep in a river of warm chocolate, just and sleep is like an ancient whore with 20 tongues just blowing me like perfectly. And she's speaking a dead language. Oh, fuck yes, please. And she's feeding syrupy heroin into my dick while she's stuck. Oh, fuck, that's so good. I don't care if I never come. This is so good. Daddy! No, fucking no. Daddy! No! I walk around my apartment. I can never see out of my right eye till about 10 a.m. It's totally clouded. I have a doctor friend, I told him that, he's like, I've never heard of that. The fuck was that? Oh, I have two. Why the fuck did I do that? That was dumb. Why did I fuck that lady all those years ago? Could be sleeping right now. I love sleep. I love it. When I'm on the road, I sleep. Last week, I slept 12 hours one night. 12 hours, that feels good. It's a little too long. If you sleep 12 hours, you go a little too far in. If you sleep 12 hours, you have weird dreams. Because you only need 8 hours to dream properly. For 8 hours, your dreams are your brain working. Because all day, you're walking around, your brain's just trying to run your legs and your arms and shit and your lungs, and then there's just like new iPods and people and shit, and after a while, you're like, shut it down! And they're all in your brain going, fuck, that was crazy, and they're just cleaning shit up. Man, what a day. And for 8 hours, your dreams are your brain taking your memories and your crazy thoughts and your fears and putting them in order. After 8 hours, if you stay asleep, your brain looks at you like, all right, you want to see some shit? I mean, if you want to fuck around, I'll show you some shit. I got some shit here. You want to find out who you really are? You sure you want to hang around for the late show? Because this gets fucked up now. Yeah, maybe you forgot about this! Ah! My dreams are always something really weirdly repetitive and small and upsetting. Like the other night, my dream was Gene Hackman making me put a rock in a bag over and over again. That was the whole dream. Put a rock in that bag. Put another rock in the bag. I wake up with just pee all over me. That's what I live for, sleep and food. I don't really care about anything else.
That's all you can do with your kids. Just do your best. Nobody fucking knows right from wrong. When I was a kid, they just taught us things to try to keep us just shut the fuck up. Our morals were just shut the fuck up. Things like slow and steady wins the race. They taught us that. Slow and steady wins the race. Really? Does it win the race? You know what beats slow and steady? Fast and steady. Kicks the shit out of slow and steady. Slow and steady beats old and retarded. That's about it. Stop telling that to kids. A lot of what they teach kids is just to make them polite people, you know? Like they teach them that there's words you shouldn't use. There's bad words. Don't use the bad words. I can't teach my kids that because I do this for a living. But I didn't want my kids to be, you know, assholes. So I used to tell them, like, okay, look, there's no bad words. There's no bad words. All words are good, bad, nothing. But there's some people that get upset when you use certain words. So if you're going to use those words, look at the person first and try to guess if they're that kind of person. Sometimes you can offend somebody when you weren't even trying to. Like there's certain phrases, certain statements that if you're going to say them, you should say them without stopping in the middle. Certain things, if you're going to say them, don't clear your throat in the middle. Okay? You don't want to say things like, there are too many black people suffering from discrimination. We need to stop the Jews from feeling excluded. I once fucked a baby, and then I fucked him again. Yeah. So you want to get through that one. Otherwise, people get the wrong idea. They'll think you only fucked that baby once.
And it's more fun having kids as a divorced father. It really is. When I was married and I had kids, I didn't enjoy it as much. We didn't have a good marriage, so it's over and everybody's happier. By the way, people who say you have to stay together for the kids, it's bullshit. Because staying married for the kids is like holding in a shit for your entire life. For the kid. And that's the kind of person you become. Even your kids, Daddy, can we go to the park? Shut the fuck up, don't fucking talk to me right now. I see married couples together all the time, and sometimes it's sad. They just become the dumb and cunty show. That just becomes... Like, whenever I see a married couple on a plane, you know when a couple first gets on the plane and they're just so upset because they couldn't fight all day because they had to keep moving to get to the flight. And now they're sitting and but they're on a plane. So they get on fucking... I saw. I saw this couple once in a supermarket, and I felt really bad for them, especially the guy, because I could see he was making mistakes that were, once you get divorced, you realize there's a lot of shit I could have fixed just by getting my head out of my own ass. Like, I saw this guy, it's a guy and his wife, and she's got a cart full of, it was a supermarket, she had a cart full of stress. She had a very stressful shop, and she's standing there, and he's with his personality annihilating phone, just and she's standing there like, and she says, "Can you help me?" And he's just, sports. And she says, "Can you help me?" Like she's trying to find his frequency. "Can you help me?" And she just goes, "Oh," and she just walks away. And I looked at him, and he had this smug look like, "Yeah, it's right, babe." And I just thought, you idiot. Like, I wanted to go up to him. I didn't, because I don't talk to people at all. But I wanted to go up to him, and I wanted to say, "Dude, just go find your wife. Wherever she is, go find her, and just touch her shoulder, and just say, 'What do you need, babe?' That's it. Just go, 'What do you need?' And I swear to God, you'll be fucking her in the ass in the store. In like 10 seconds, you'll be fucking her in the asshole. That's how easy it is to fix your marriage. What do you need, babe? Oh, shit, just rub jelly on it and shove it in my asshole. Oh my God, I love you. Just put jelly on your dick and fuck me in the... Honey, there's jelly right there. It's right in front of you. It's right. Don't get raspberry. It has seeds. Come on, can you have a brain? Just... That's really dumb.
I prefer the city. I do. Even though it's weird, my kids get bombarded by strange things, you know? They see all kinds of stuff, big billboards, sex billboards, you know? Calvin Klein, weird chick with a stripe of cotton like this, and she's like this, like, with a weird... The American Apparel girls are like... I have garbage in my pussy. So, I put pennies in my vagina. I was on the subway one time, and I'm standing on the subway. I wasn't holding anything, I just like to stand like this. This would be a weird kind of aggressive stance to take in New York. It's not quite threatening, but if you just walked around the city like this, people are like, "Okay, just go ahead, man, fuck." Anyway, I was on the subway, and I heard this sound from back here, from behind me. I heard this, I heard... And I was like, it's a crazy person. You hear that sometimes. And then I hear it again. I'm like, all right, I want to look. I want to see the crazy person. I mean, what's the point of living in this city if you can't fucking take a look at the crazy guy? So I look over, and it's not what I expected. It wasn't a big homeless guy with 2 pairs of headphones that don't work. It was a young woman. She looked like she was like from Michigan or something. I don't know. Really sweet looking young woman. She's got a sweater and with a collar over it, and a ponytail and a little like book bag, and she's just standing there. And I'm like, she didn't make that noise. I heard wrong because she didn't make the noise. And as I'm looking at her, she goes, and I'm like, fuck, this is like a dream. This is not the person that usually does that. She did it 3 more times. What is happening in the world right now? And then she does this. She goes, la 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 la. La 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 la. And I realized, oh, she's like a music student at like Juilliard or something. I don't know. She was like 20 years old. So she's like just doing her vocal exercises right on the train. And you know what? It wasn't charming or nice. It just seemed arrogant to me. Because she's like, I'm in New York City studying music. And I do my vocal exercises right on the train. La 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 la, everybody. La 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 la, tired nurse who just did a 14-hour shift. And I was like, well, is it okay if I shave my balls on the subway? Is that okay? My daughter, my little one, she's a great kid. She tap dances. She likes tap dancing. We figured we should have her start tap dancing because by the time she grows up, it'll be the 1930s again. And she'll have this thing she can do that nobody enjoys watching. You know what the audience is for tap dancing? The parents of tap dancing children. That's who's watching it. They do a big show at the end of the tap dancing school semester, and all the kids get up there and they dance. The whole school. They get up there in groups of threes. There's about 6,000 kids. And they do about 20 minutes each. So the show's about 7 months long. And everybody dies at the end. But you go because you want to see your kid tap dance. Who wouldn't want to see that? Watching your child tap dance is an amazing event because this was a baby. She was a baby once. She was just like this. That's it. And now she's going like this. But in order to watch that, you have to sit through all these other kids that you don't love at all. In fact, you hate them for not being your kid and making you wait. These kids face a whole audience of just 2 people that love them, and then everybody's just, get the fuck off, you fat little bitch. Hurry up! And there's grown-ups. There's adults that take classes at the school, and they get up there and they tap dance. But get off, get off! Nobody's here to see you. You're 52, your parents are dead. Get off the stage. Nobody came to see you. Nobody came from work. Nobody came from work. Nobody who you approached. Hey, so I'm taking tap dancing lessons lately. Yeah? Yeah, I really like it. Okay, it's great. Yeah, so anyway, we're doing a show at my school on Saturday. Do you want to go to it? Seriously, can you give me tickets? I'm dying to see that. Really? How long you been? 3 months? Fuck, I can't wait. That's my favorite thing that'll ever happen to me. I take my daughter every Thursday to the tap school. I take her in there, put her in the tap shoes. She goes in the tap room. I sit in the waiting room. And I wait there because it's only 40 minutes. It's not enough time for me to go anywhere. So I just sit there and I listen through the wall. And then she comes out, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore. Good, don't. I don't want to bring you. I don't care if you do it. Quit now. I don't push my kids with the activities. I don't get that, because you got to do the shit too. I don't care what she does. Daddy, I'm tired of soccer. Soccer is out of our lives forever. With those words from thine mouth. Don't do anything, honey. I don't care. Don't go to school. I don't want to get up at 7. You don't need it. I have money. Just stay home and eat the food in the house. Just stay home and eat. You and your sister don't have kids, and then we all 3 of us die. We're done. That's my goal. I just want to have enough money that we can lock the door and eat the food till we're all dead. Daddy, what are we doing today? Go to the food room and pick something out. Go back to bed. It's all that's required of you.
Thanks for getting through the traffic. I drove here, and on the way here, I saw a bumper sticker on a car, and it said, "Tell your girlfriend I said thanks." Isn't that a little personal for a bumper sticker, really? A bumper sticker should be like, "Hey, I'm in front of you," whatever, you know. Not, "Hey, I fucked your girlfriend." You want that on your car all day for whoever's behind you? Tell your girlfriend I said thanks. How does he know I'm not behind him just getting mad and crazy, taking it personal, motherfucker? I follow him home. I get out of my car in his driveway with a pipe. What the fuck does that mean? Thank her for what exactly? Wait a minute, you fucked my girlfriend? Then you made that bumper sticker and found me in traffic and got in front of me? Motherfucker. And I just beat him to death with a pipe right there in his driveway. And jerk off on his corpse. Didn't need that part. Didn't need it. Story was totally complete without the jerking off on the corpse. It's too late. I was at a bar the other night, doesn't matter where because I'm lying, but I had to talk to my kids about death recently because our dog died. So I had to tell them, you know, it's a sad thing when your dog dies and you got to tell the kids. I mean, you got to tell them. You got to tell them at some point. You can't just keep going, wait, there he goes. What? Wait. Oh, wait, he was right here. Where'd he go? That little scamp. He's a quick one. Go after him. There he goes. It's a sad thing when you got to tell your kids that the dog is dead, but I had to tell them. And you know what? I was proud of them. I was proud of them how they owned their feelings about it. They cried. They talked about the dog. And I thought, you know what? This was a positive thing. That's how you start thinking as a parent. It's sad that your dog died, but it was an opportunity. You get to talk about death with the kids. It's like a dry run for grandma. It is. It is, and it's a positive thing. And if you're a parent, you have to view it that way. It's a good thing. Your dog dies, you get to deal with death with your kids. And then whatever, like a few months later, you're like, so you know all that stuff we talked about? About the dog? Yeah, so grandma now. All the same stuff. All right, you got it? Okay, I'm going out. Good night. I had a dog when I was a kid. My dog hated me. It was one of the saddest things about my life. I wanted a dog so badly. I was about 10 years old, and I begged my mother for a dog. And she didn't want to give me one because I was a messy, shitty little kid. She said, if we get a dog, it's going to be disgusting in here, because it's already disgusting because you're a smelly, disgusting little boy. She didn't say all that. But that's how she looked at me my whole childhood. So one day my mother finally said to me, I'm gonna make a deal with you. She said, you can get a dog if you keep your room clean for 1 month. And I was like, hallelujah, I'm getting a dog. I told everybody at school, I'm getting a dog, because I knew I was gonna get a dog, because all I had to do was clean my room for 1 month. So I cleaned my room, I kept it clean for about 2 weeks, and then it just went to shit. It was disgusting. There was just shit smeared on the walls. It was gross. Then I tried again, 3-4 days maybe, fucking horrible again. And I remember thinking, I'm 10 years old and I already know my life is gonna be horrible because I can't do a thing to get a thing. I should kill myself right now. And finally my mom was like, well, get a dog. Jesus, you're bumming everybody out. So she got us a dog, and the dog hated me. And it hurt because I took care of the dog. I was very kind to the dog, but he hated me, so he must have just hated who I am inside. And you could tell how he felt because he was a very expressive dog. He was a terrier, you know, he had eyebrows. He had a very expressive face. I would walk in the room and the dog would go like, oh fuck, I can't. I gotta go. Doggy. We'd go for walks and I had to use a leash and I didn't want to use the leash. I want to be one of those cool guys with a dog that just comes along. Hey, dog, come on. You know, it's always some guy with like a suede jacket and scruffy hair.
He's got an old pickup truck, and he gets in and he goes, "Go on, dog!" And he goes, you know those guys that can whistle, that cool whistle that I can't whistle? Woo! Or whatever. And the dog jumps in, and they both get laid somewhere because this guy's so cool. That's what I wanted. But I would walk my dog, and I had to have a leash, and the leash was like taut. It wasn't even like, we're cool, we're friends. It was like, how far can I get my face from this child? He would choke himself the whole walk. And if I ever stumbled and dropped the leash, he was like, he was gone. He would go, "I'm not your dog," and he would run like a slave. He would just disappear. That's how he ran. It's an apt description. I'm just being accurate. He didn't run like a deer. This is how deers run. My dog ran like this. He ran away about 20 times. Then we get a call from the dog pound. "Hi, we have your dog." You can hear my dog in the background going, "Don't." Fuck. Shit. Fucking kid's gonna come back and get me.
Must be awful to be other kinds of stuff. You know, I'm glad I'm this. This is a pretty good deal when you consider the alternatives. Anything else, any other kind of thing, you're in the food chain. You're in the food. We are out of the food chain. I don't know if we fully appreciate the fact that we got out of the food chain. That is a massive upgrade. Because for every other living thing, life ends by being eaten. That's how all life ends, is every single life except human life. Every life ends like this. Ah! 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 We're the only ones that get to just die old in a bed. Just, I love you. Bye. I mean, imagine if we were still in the food chain on top of everything else. Imagine if we were in the food chain. It would just be another thing you gotta deal with. You're already having a bad day. You wake up in the morning, you're making breakfast, you burn your toast, and it's too late to try again. And your kid comes in and says, "Bleh," and you're like, "Fine." And it's just, why? You get a thing in the mail that says that your phone's different and your mortgage is another company now. What? I don't get it. Then you're walking to work like, why do I even bother? Oh shit, God damn it. There's always fucking cheetahs at the train station. Stop it! Do you think that sharks would be embarrassed if they knew that we could all see their fins sticking out of the top of the water? I think they'd be bummed, because I don't think sharks are aware of that at all. I think sharks think they're slick. They swim around like, hey, nobody has any idea what's down here. And we're all up here like, there's totally a shark right there. It wouldn't be fun being a predator either. If you're a predator, imagine if every time you're hungry, you gotta chase a guy who's running for his life. You gotta, come on, dude, shit, get over here. And just hold him down and bite his neck till he shuts the fuck up for a minute. So you can just sit there and eat his stomach before you go to work. That would really suck. That's why animals just, they go, let's do this together, man. You chase the parents away, I am gonna eat the kid, and you circle back. That's why they do it like that. Fuck it, I'm eating babies. This is bullshit. Grown-ups ain't worth a meat. Whoops. All right. Oh, shit. God damn it. Idiot. This isn't a gay voice, by the way. It's not. Shut up. Yeah. I love traveling and seeing all the different parts of the country. I live in New York. I live in a... there's no value to your doing that at all. I live in New York. I always... there's this old lady in my neighborhood, and she's always walking her dog. She's always she's very old. She just stands there just being old. And the dog just fights gravity every day. Just the two of them, it's really... The dog's got a cloudy eye, and she's got a cloudy eye, and they just stand there looking at the street in 2 dimensions together. And she's always wearing like this sweater dress. I guess it was a sweater when she was like 5'10", but now it's just like this sweater, and her legs are a nightmare. They're just white with green streaks and bones sticking out, and her legs are awful. I saw a guy with no legs wheeling by, and he was like, ugh, no, thank you. I do not want those. I'd rather just have air down here like I have than to look down at that shit. I see these two all the time. And I always look at them and I always think, God, I hope she dies first. I do! I hope she dies first for her sake. Because I don't want her to lose the dog. I don't think she'll be able to handle it. If the old lady dies first, I'm not worried about the dog. Because the dog doesn't even know about the old lady. This dog is aware of 3 inches around his head. He's living in 2-second increments. The second he's in and the one he just left is all he knows about. But if he dies, this lady, she's gonna be destroyed because this dog is all she has. And I know he's all she has because she has him. If she had one person in her life, she would not keep this piece of shit little dog. Even if just some young woman in her building one morning were to say, "Good morning, Gladys," she'd be like, "Oh, good," and just flush him down the toilet. Just, dog just keeps bumping on the drain. She gives up. Ends up just shitting on her dog for the rest of her life.
I was on an airplane, and we were about to take off, and the flight attendant comes on and he says, "Folks, we have a special announcement. Our pilot, Captain Davis, this is his last flight." Yeah, you don't have to tell us. You can keep that to yourself. I'm not excited. Guess what? You're on the bleeding edge of his competence. He can barely do this anymore. His hands are shaking like crazy. We're gonna make him stop after this one more time with you. We live in an interesting time, you know, because you can be on a plane. You're one person on an airplane out of 200 passengers or whatever, and you're sitting on the flight, and you're 30,000 feet in the air in the middle of the flight. If you just decide to do this, you just sit there and you just start going, "Mwah! Mwah! Mwah! Mwah!" Seriously, if you start doing that on an airplane and then don't stop doing it, they will land the plane. You can will a plane to the ground without a weapon or a threat. You don't even need to do that much. You can just sit there, you just start saying, "Down, down, down. Seriously, if you were on an airplane and you just start saying the word down at slightly above conversational volume, down, down. Sir, is there a problem? Down, down. A squadron of F-16s will appear in the window and they will force the plane to the ground. And you'll be in a lot of trouble. I guess, but how much? What can they really do to you? They can't make you go to prison because you said the word down several times. Sir, why'd you do that? Are you a terrorist? No, I just didn't like up at the moment. And so I said the word opposite. So I just felt like it. So you didn't have to do it. You guys are fucking weirdos. I used to date a woman who was a vegan, so I had to fuck her with my dick substitute. And remember when meeting a vegan was weird? Remember when that was like a strange thing? Like, oh, what is that? Like, you probably met your first vegan in the 90s. You had like a dinner party, and somebody brought a vegan. And they said, just so you know, I'm a vegan. And you're like, I'm sorry, you're a vegetarian? And they're like, no. Like, all right, what is the thing? And they tell you all the, okay, yeah, I have no food for you. You can eat a napkin and shit paper, I don't care. But then you met another vegan and you're like, oh, okay. And then now they're everywhere. Now who cares? There's several vegans in restaurants and whatever. It's kind of like gay people, sort of a similar trajectory of growth and acceptance in the culture, you know? Gay people and vegans have a lot in common. Like, they both have to tell their families at Thanksgiving. That's when they have to tell them. And dad gets angry. Your mother worked all night cooking that turkey, and you're telling me you're a fucking faggot? You know, it's drama. But those are the old days. Things are better now. I think it's pretty amazing when you think about it. The people used to say that being gay was wrong. Pretty recently, folks used to, like most people used to say that being gay was wrong. Of course, it's not wrong to be gay. I mean, it's pretty gay, but it's not wrong. But that's what people used to say. And now nobody says that. And I think that's a positive change. I think that's a good thing. Although I do wonder if there are gay people who miss when it was wrong. Maybe there's a few who miss when it was, because wasn't it a little more fun when it was like, this is fucking crazy? Like, didn't that give it a little zhuzh, a little, I could lose my job, oh fuck. Because now they're like everybody else, which is great, and they can get married, that's terrific, but is that fun to fuck your husband at your house? Wasn't it more fun to be in an old nightclub at 4 in the morning, like, I'm breaking my mother's heart. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't even mean just gay people. Just some people like when sex is a little fucked up, you know? Some people like when sex is a little fucked up. All right. No. All right, you want to talk about it? Should we talk about it? Yeah, all right. I don't mind talking about it. Okay. Here's what I'll give you some advice. Here's some advice that really only I can give you. Here's my advice. If you ever ask somebody, can I jerk off in front of you? Just let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Fuck. Okay. If you ever ask somebody, may I jerk off in front of you? And they say yes. Just say, are you sure? That's the first part. And then if they say yes, just don't fucking do it. Just don't do it. Because look, whatever you're into, okay? Because everybody's got their thing. Whatever your thing is, I don't know. You all have your thing. I don't know what your thing is. You're so fucking lucky that I don't know what your thing is. Do you understand how lucky you are that people don't know your fucking thing? Because everybody knows my thing. Everybody knows my fucking thing now. Obama knows my thing. Do you understand how that feels? To know that Obama was like, good Lord. Everybody in the world knows my thing. I got on an airplane in Italy. This little kid was like, Mama, that's the guy who jack off in front of the people. So whatever your thing is, I don't know what it is. Maybe you can't come unless you have your father on speakerphone, whatever it is. If you want to do it with somebody else, you need to ask first. But if they say yes, you still don't get to just go, woo, and charge ahead. You got to check in often. I guess that's what I would say. Check in. Because it's not always clear how people feel. Like, men are taught to make sure the woman is okay. But the thing is, women know how to seem okay when they're not okay. So you can't just look at her face and be like, yeah, her eyes are dry, we're fine, let's just keep going. You got to check in. Because communication during sex can be very confusing. Like, sometimes you're with a woman, you're having sex, she's making noises, she's going like, ooh, ah, and you're like, oh, she loves it. Not necessarily. Sometimes they're making those noises just to get through it. Because it's easier to go, ooh, than to say, I hate how you fuck me. Honestly, it's awful. So she goes, ooh, baby. It's kind of like a Negro spiritual. It's sort of similar. So to assume that she likes it is like if they heard slaves singing in the fields and you're like, hey, they're having a great time out there. As far as my thing, I don't know what the fuck. People are like, why do you want to do it anyway? Okay, I don't know. I like jerking off, I don't like being alone. That's all I can tell you. I get lonely. Where is everyone? It's just sad. I like company. I like to share. I'm good at it, too. If you're good at juggling, you wouldn't do it alone in the dark. You would gather folks and amaze them. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that shit. Well, people complicate this life shit. You know? Folks get all twisted up trying to figure out their life. I don't know what to do with my life. You know? It's like, you know, like, what do I do? Like, with my life? You know? Just put food in here. That's it. That's it. Walk around and look for food. Just look for food. Anytime you see any food, just take it and put it in your mouth. Then, when you feel pressure in your ass, shit out the shit inside of your ass. If anybody tries to stop you from doing either of those two things, murder them. Do that until your body stops doing things. And then you're dead. I wonder how long I'm gonna live. Sometimes I wonder, like, how old am I gonna get? You never get to find out. You never get to know how long you lived. Everybody else knows except for you. Because you never get to say, okay, I'm dead, so 85. You don't get to have that thought. You never get to think, that's it, I'm done. You get to think, this is your last thought. You get to think, this is probably it. That's everybody's last thought. This totally feels like this is it right here. Most people get to be 80. That's the average lifespan of an American.
but we've got medical technology and research that we're putting in to make it go longer. We would like to live longer, wouldn't we? We'd like to live to 85. 5 more years. Wouldn't that be great? Well, let's be clear what you're getting there, though. You're getting 5 more years of life at the end. They go at the end. They don't shove over the old years and stick 5 cool new young years in the middle. You don't get new. Now I get to be 28, 29, and also 20 fligitus and fligiting. No, you get to be almost dead for 5 more years. You get to be like, uncomfortably old. That kind of old where you don't even have a wallet anymore. Where's my wallet? Well, where are you going? What are you talking about? We threw your wallet away years ago. What, you gotta go to the diarrhea store? You got plenty of free diarrhea here.
We love women a lot. All men do. And we just look at you. That's what I do. I just look at women. I just, like they're, cakes and windows. I just, I was walking in New York once, and there's these 2 very cute women walking behind me, and I was trying to walk slowly so I could hear what they were saying to each other, because they were cute. So I wanted to hear them, like that's gonna help me in any way to hear them. Don't you wish the guy walking in front of us would squeeze our tits for like 1 second? Okay. Really? It's really a flaw in men that we would all do that. If you're a woman, you could ask any guy on planet Earth, can you squeeze my tit for 1 second? And 100% of us will go, oh yes, of course. That doesn't matter. I could be doing open heart surgery. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, don't worry, he's not your tits, don't worry about it. I don't know why we love tits so much. Some people say it's because we breastfeed, but so do women. Or, baby women. Not grown-up women don't usually. You don't see like a 68-year-old woman, like a stately look, like Sigourney Weaver, like sucking milk out of a young woman's tit. Thank you, Deborah. I'll see you tomorrow, 2:00. It's not usually the thing, is the elderly breastfeeding from the young. Except for at the end of The Grapes of Wrath, which I don't mean to ruin that book for you, but you should have read it by now. I don't know if you read The Grapes of Wrath, but that's how it ends, with an old dying man sucking milk out of a young girl's tit, and then the book is over. And you're like, Jesus, what happened at the end there? That's crazy. There's no other book in that genre. There's no dense historic classic that ends with a weird porny paragraph at the very... And then Anna Karenina shat on his chest. Holy moly with that! The end. Oh my God! That is a violent shift in tone at the end of that book. I've been reading this book for 3 months. But we do, we love tits. And you always know a tit. You always know a tit. You ever been in a crowded place, like a subway or a sports stadium, and you're smushed in with other people, and your elbow touches a tit behind you, like, that's a tit! I just touched it! I know that was a tit! I know it! Because the sensitivity of the male elbow to tit flesh specifically is unbelievable. Just to tits, because you could drive a tack in there, I'm not gonna feel it. But a tit, through a shirt and a sweater and a jacket, and her jacket, sweater, shirt, and bra, somehow, it's a tit, I touched a tit. I touched a tit. I touched one tit. one tit. That's rare to touch one tit. It's like a four-leaf clover. Usually you touch it. The only time you touch one tit is when it was an accident or you didn't have permission. But otherwise, when tit access is granted, it's usually good for 2 tits at a time. It's once you're on one, you really have to screw up really badly and quickly to lose tit access between tits 1 and 2. You must have said something really dumb on the first tit that you didn't get the second one. Oh yeah, it's like your mom's dirty whore tit. Why? What? I said I liked it. That's what I meant, is that I like it. I like your mom's dirty whore tit. And I like yours. And if it's up to the guy, we're gonna touch both tits. No guy touches a tit and then goes, you know what, I'm good with the one. That's fine for me. Everything in moderation. We're gonna touch both. Even if something terrible happens in the middle of, oh yeah, there's a bomb! Oh shit, come on. Let's get your tits out of here. I've seen a few tits. I've seen, I don't know, 48 maybe, I don't know. I've had my history in my life, you know. A lot of my memories I don't like. I don't like when I was a teenager, I hated all that time. I hated being a teenager. And then I discovered drugs. And then that's all I gave a shit about. I don't know how I'm gonna tell my kids. How the fuck do you compete with that? How do you take a miserable person with no control over their lives and tell them with a straight face, oh, you can't do drugs. You can't do that, baby. All drugs are a perfect solution to every problem you have right now. How do you beat that? Drugs are so fucking good that they'll ruin your life. I mean, that's how good they are. I can't do drugs now because I'm 44, and I can't hook it up. I can't make that happen. If you're 44 and you want to get high, you got to hurt your back. That's pretty much the only option you have. Hurt your back, get some Percocet, and then you go, I'm gonna get a babysitter and take 3 at a diner. Like, just sad. I'm a little drowsy. Woo! I never really could have like I wish I was a drunk. Like that, I love romantically the idea of being a real drunk in my bathrobe all day. Everybody who loves me is always crying. He's destroying himself. I can't watch anymore. Shut up, then. Yeah. Showing up at my kid's school play halfway through. You show who you are, baby! I wish I could be that guy. But I can't drink because I just get tired. I go to sleep. I don't know how people drink and then do shit. Like when I see movies or TV shows where there's people in an office having a power meeting and they're clink, clink, they're making a drink in the daylight with a tie on. Well, Senator, hope you play ball with us in this construction deal, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, well, I'll see what's in it for me. How is the next scene not all those people just lying on the floor like, oh, fuck. I can't believe I drank whiskey at noon. I can't smoke pot because it's the same thing. I'm too old for it. Sometimes young people come up to me after shows, hey, do you want to smoke some pot? I'm like, can I get my portion to smoke without you alone later? Because I don't want to stand in a parking lot with some 20-year-olds. Last time I got high, I was in Kansas City, and I got high because I was in Kansas City, and it was shitty. So after the show, these kids that worked at the club, they're like, you want to smoke some pot? And I'm like, yes. So I'm standing in a parking lot with these kids, like 20 years old, and we're smoking a joint. And I'm taking huge hits, because I had no idea. I didn't know they'd been working on this shit like it's the cure for cancer. I didn't understand the fucking technology that's gone into making pot so powerful. Because when I was a kid, you could just smoke a joint for a while. Now you take 2 hits and you go insane. It's not doable anymore. And I was taking big hits, like big 1970s jean jacket, Bad Company hits. Here come the jesters, 1, 2, 3. like, yeah. And even the kid with the wooden hole of no ear, the absence of flesh in his ear with wood, I don't know what that is. Even he was like, "That you should be careful, that's a lot of pot. That's very strong marijuana." Yeah, I'm fine. Running with the devil! Just fucking, and in about 10 seconds, everything just and I'm like, oh shit. This is an ordeal now. I'm not gonna feel okay for a very long time. And everybody's just standing around and talking, and I'm hoping, like I'm really hoping that I look like this. But I'm pretty sure that I was just scanning insanely. I was actually counting, like, look at her for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to him. 5, 4, 3, 2. Randomize. Don't go in the same direction. 5, 4, 3. Nod your head. That looks like you're listening if you nod your head. Ha ha ha. And at one point I realized I need to get out of here because the air is hitting my arm weirdly and they can tell. They totally know that I'm not handling the way air is touching my arm right now. Why am I doing that with my hand? That's weird to do that with your hand. Nobody stands like this. Nobody stands like this. Just fucking, no, that's that's weird too. That's crazy. Just, shit. I gotta go. But I didn't know how to leave. Because I had this dilemma. We're all standing in a perfect circle facing each other. And I thought it's gonna be insane if I just turn I'm one person with my back now. Do I just back away like this and hope that they fill in? And then I thought, no, say something. Say something out loud to them that smooths the transition of you leaving. Okay, what do I say? Pick a thing to say. Goodbye. That's a nightmare. That's just goodbye. That's just noises. Finally, I walked away and I said, I'm leaving! And I know it was that bad because they all went, oh, shit, okay, all right. Whoa. I was like, I'll never see those people again as long as I live. And then I had to get in a car. I forgot that I had rented a car and I have to drive back to the hotel. And I'm driving on this highway in Missouri. And at one point I realized, I think it's been about 25 minutes since I looked out the front window of this car. I've just been dealing with shit directly in. Oh, shit. There's a whole spectrum of responsibility out here. I'm supposed to take part in this. And then at one point, I remember I was at a drive-thru, and I was terrified because there's a lady sticking her head out a window, and she's mad. She's going, sir, sir. And I just kept saying, I don't know. I had the window closed. I had no fucking idea. What part of the transaction am I? Did I pay yet? Have I ordered? Have I been sitting here for 40 minutes just eating at the window and I ate the paper and everything? Sir! And I just went, I don't want it! And I just fucking bolted. So I can't do that anymore.
This is a very comfortable way to stand. I like to stand like this. Sometimes I stand like this. This isn't comfortable, but it's a tiny bit entertaining. Because it makes people look at you, I don't know why that bothers me. That's a little weird. I mean, it's not crazy like standing like this, And it's not normal. It's just a little. You see people looking at you. What is it? Why is he? I do that when I have to go to places I don't like to go, you know, like CVS. I hate CVS. But sometimes you gotta go in there. That should be their slogan. CVS. Sometimes you gotta come in here. Where else are you gonna get your wart Band-Aids? And that stuff for your dry vagina. Dry vagina. I used to think it was called a vagina when I was a kid because I grew up in Boston. Shut up. I don't care. In Boston, they have something they call the Boston accent. It's not an accent. It's a whole city full of people pronouncing most words wrong. It's a regionally agreed upon stupidity. And I was raised to talk like an idiot in Boston because the teachers talk like that and they teach you to talk like that. I remember my 5th grade teacher when we did sex ed, she was like, she was like a diagram, she was like, this is a penis and this is a vagina. Now during intercourse, the man ejaculates sperm into the vagina. And then later, a fucking baby comes out of the vagina. And sometimes it's retarded. Yeah. It's sad when they come all mentally retarded. I grew up in the 70s and teachers said retarded. Some people are retarded. And they got retarded vaginas. I really did think it was called a vagina, and because sex is such a mysterious thing to a boy, I thought it was like a thing that you use to vagine with. I gotta go to Rent-A-Tool and get a vagina so I could vagine my driveway. I just made a really nice table. I gotta vagina it. That would make a nice table. Make a new table and you sand it, and you're like, all right, honey, get up there. And she just. And you go, ooh. You don't even poly or anything. That's nice. That's like the old way to do it, you know? This table is very smooth because my wife have a very juicy boozy, and she vagina the table is a long time. That is nice. Wow. Thank you, Mr. Tedesca-Tinioni.
My daughter was having a dance thing at her school. They had this big dance. Anyway, we all went, all the parents, and everybody's there, and everybody's got their phone. Every single parent. It was an amazing thing to watch, because kids are dancing, and every parent is standing there like this. Every single person was blocking their vision of their actual child with their phone. And the kids, I went over by the stage, and the kids, there's people holding iPads in front of their faces. It looked like we're all in the witness protection program. Like the kids can't see their parents. And everybody's watching a shitty movie of something that's happening 10 feet. Like, look at your fucking kid. The resolution on the kid is unbelievable. If you just look, it's totally HD. Why are you taping this? You're never gonna watch it. In a million years, you're not gonna watch videos of your kids doing shit you missed the first time it happened. You don't watch it, you just put it on Facebook. Here, you watch it. I want to take a nap now. And then you get to read all the comments. Oh my God! It's so cute! And guess what? They're not watching it either. They're not watching the video. These kids are dancing for no one. Nobody watches the videos on your Facebook. They see the first frame of a kid and they go, that's very nice. Okay, back to this. Nobody's watching your kids' videos on Facebook, I promise you. I'll prove it to you. Next time you tape your kids dance, take 1 second of it and then add 20 minutes of just your own asshole. Just go in the bathroom and just record your own anus opening and closing for 20 minutes. Tack it on to your kid dancing for a second, put that on Facebook. Everybody will write the same thing. That's adorable. I think I see a future star. Don't tape shit on your...
I was thinking the other day, what if there was a baby who was born, and there's been a lot of fucked up babies. There's all kinds of babies born. There's been babies with, connected at the face to a dog or whatever. There's been babies with 3 legs, with hands on them. There's been Chinese babies. That's the worst thing I ever said. I think I just finally said the worst thing I have ever said. That was totally unredeeming and horrible. And it feels good. It feels good to have found the bottom. It's a comfort in knowing that I just said the worst thing I'll ever say in the rest of my life. It's good. All right. Yeah, I'm not a good guy. I am not. I wish I was a good guy. I like the idea of being a good guy. Sometimes I have an opportunity to be a good guy, but then I don't necessarily do it. But I'm really glad you're here. This is a sizable crowd. This is a big place. There's about 2,500 people here. And that's a lot of people. That's enough people to be like a sample of the population. 2,500 people is enough people that you're all going to experience a lot. There's enough people here to say that within 2 months, at least one of you will die. I'm just saying, I think it's probably accurate to say that out of any random group of 2,500 people, not all of you are going to make it to Christmas, unfortunately. There's going to be at least one of you here tonight is going to ruin your family's Christmas by dying a shitty death. And I don't know who it is, I'm sorry. I don't know, your death is whatever. Some people, they want you to do things when they die with their, like, I want you to take my ashes and sprinkle. Fuck you, I'm not doing none of that shit. You're dead, I'm not gonna run errands for you after you're dead. You don't matter anymore. Some people try to do something, noble with their bodies. They try to have their bodies have some use after they're dead, which I think is a good thought. You're only borrowing your body. You're only borrowing everything. If your body's worth anything when you're done with it, you should pass it on. That's something I really believe. I mean, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to. Ew, it's mine. I have a lot of beliefs, and I live by none of them. That's just the way I am. They're just my beliefs. I just like believing them. I like that part. They're my little believies. They make me feel good about who I am. But if they get in the way of a thing I want, or I want to jack off or something, I fucking do that. But some people take their body. My grandmother, she, just for the layman, my grandmother, she gave her body to a medical school, so for it to just be examined and dissected, which is a good thought for that. But they're her survivors, or her family. That was a person. That was my grandmother. She used to wear glasses and say things.
And now she's just shaved head on a metal table with a hungover medical student trying to dig out her pancreas, and he gets an F. Imagine being the body where the kid got an F on you. The teacher's like, no, you idiot. And he writes F on her tit with a Sharpie and just throws her down a chute on a pile of F body. So, I don't care about her. Shut up, idiot. Just shut your fucking mouth. Did you hear me before? Okay, so what am I gonna do with my body? I'm gonna die, and I gotta tell people what to do with my remains. And I have an idea for something to do with my body, or for other people to do with it, that will do good in the world. And it doesn't exist yet as like an institution, but I'm gonna create it, starting with my body. And what it is, it's a place where you can go and be with a dead body, and you just do whatever you want. And the point of this is that there are people out there who have sexual compulsions and they can't control them. And so they go and they bother alive people. And this, you get it out of your system. This is the deal. You go in the room, there's nobody else with you, you got 90 minutes, you just do whatever you want. Whatever it is. Shit in my mouth, you want to stick my toe in your pussy, piss on my face, whatever is the thing you got to do. Jack off with the cartilage of my ear, whatever is your heart's desire. I want to be the Willy Wonka for perverts. You can come on my back and pretend that I'm your father. I am dead, I don't mind.
I'll tell you this story about one time that I thought I was going to die. I think it's the only time where I thought, why wouldn't this be when I die? I was on a plane. I've been on a lot of planes and a lot of shitty weather and stuff, but this shit was fucked up. I was in Indianapolis on a plane waiting to take off, and we're sitting there, and the pilot comes on, and he says, hi folks, the fuel gauge is broken, so we're waiting for maintenance. So we wait, about 20 minutes. Then he comes back on, folks, the fuel gauge is still broken, but we're gonna go anyway. We know how much fuel we have, and we feel confident it'll be okay, so we're gonna go. And I'm thinking, okay, well, he's a pilot. I'm sure he's going by some manual that says, if the fuel gauge breaks, call maintenance. If they're not there in 20 minutes, fuck it. Fuel gauges are overrated, just go, you're fine. Just top it off and remember what happened. So then we still don't take off. And the guy comes back on. Folks, we have another problem. LaGuardia Airport in New York won't give us clearance to take off because the weather has been bad there intermittently. So we're going to wait for that. So we wait 20 minutes. Then he comes back on. Folks, LaGuardia still hasn't given us clearance. But we're going to go anyway. We're looking at the radar. We think the weather will be fine. So what we're going to do is say that our destination is Philadelphia. We'll get clearance to go there. Halfway to Philadelphia, we'll switch course to the LaGuardia Airport. We'll be there in a few minutes. I swear to God he said this. First of all, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be honest with the dude in the tower. Like, does the dude in the tower have to go, really? You're going to come on? Tell me where you're going. And why is he telling us this shit? Am I going to have to corroborate this lie if we get pulled over by the sky police at some point in the flight? Oh, no, we're totally going to Philly. I got a brother there, and we got a thing in Philly. But I'm still fine with it because we're travelers on the plane. Yeah, I got a thing. Fuck it. I'm immortal. Just go, please. Yes. Go into marginal weather with shoddy equipment secretly. I totally support this plan. So, we take off. We get above where we are right now. And it's just a black motherfucker of a cloud. It's just like the Wizard of Oz. It's just, there's trees throwing apples at us. It's crazy. It's just horrible, and we're the whole flight, and we're making these circles. And me and the guy next to me are both listening to the tower. You know how you can plug into your seat sometimes, and you can listen to the tower talk to the area airplanes. And we keep hearing our guy trying to get clearance to land from LaGuardia.
This is Delta 288 requesting clearance to land. It's a negative 288. Low visibility.
A few minutes go by.
This is Delta 288. We would really like clearance to land. Yeah, that's a negative 288.
Like he was getting annoyed. And meanwhile, we're just circling and burning this vague amount of fuel. We could just stop being an airplane at any second. And then we hear this. This is all true. The LaGuardia guy comes.
It's LaGuardia Airport to all area airplanes. We are closed for the night. Zero visibility. Not safe for landing. Please divert to Philadelphia or Allentown, Pennsylvania, or Boston.
And then we hear our guy.
This is Delta 20. We need to land now. We have no fuel. We have to land right now.
Interesting. Then there's a pause, and then we hear this.
Well, then clear to land, then 280. That's how he said it. Like, dude, no one can see, okay? But just, I guess all the dumb decisions you made today have made this a good one. Just take a shot. I'm going home. Just fucking turn the lights off after you crash. I don't give a shit, frankly. By the way, you're not supposed to be here, you fucking liar. You said you were going to Philly.
So as soon as we get clearance, we just like we start bulleting. We're either flying desperately towards the ground or falling. I don't know that there's a difference. We come out of the clouds and there's the fucking Earth right fucking there. It's right there. That's what low visibility means. We come out of the clouds and no fuck, it's right there, Jesus! And the plane just, and you can feel the plane go, oh fuck, I can't do that. What are you, nuts? And we go and veer over the highway, and I swear to God, I saw people in their cars go, what the fuck? And we hit the runway like sideways, like poof. And the pilot comes back on, all true, I swear to God. He's totally out of breath. He's like,
Welcome to LaGuardia Airport, New York City. You may turn on your cell phones now, and you may call your loved ones.
he said that. He said, you may call your loved ones. And everybody on the plane was crying and rocking back and forth, just sobbing, calling their husbands and their wives. I'm divorced. What am I going to, hi, remember you hate me? Well, I almost died. And I got in a cab, and the cab driver goes, that was a very bad landing. I was like, how'd you know that was me? He's like, that's the only plane to land in 4 hours. We all watched the drivers, we said, that are going to die. You know, it's a lot of work having kids, especially now, as opposed to the past. Because in the past, you just had your kids and they just did their thing and you did your thing. That's what it was like for me. I'm amazed at that now. Because I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. My oldest daughter is 8 years old. And when I was 8, my mother, she would go to work and I'd go to school. We were like roommates. There was no... She'd just go, see you later. Maybe I'll have a child when I get home from work. I don't know. I would go to school and then I would just wander around town. And I would do weird shit. I used to go to the store and steal tampons. I got in this weird thing where I stole tampons every day. And I never got caught. I mean, the guy probably saw me, but he's like, I'm not confronting the kid who steals tampons. I did a lot of weird shit when I was a kid. I showed my penis to a girl with Down syndrome that lived down the street. I did that. Go ahead and judge me. I was 9. I'm still the guy who did it, but I was a kid. I just really wanted a girl to look at my penis. I wanted to have that moment. And I was too afraid to ask any girls that didn't have Down syndrome. Basically, because girls in my town scared me. They smoked parliaments and had feathered hair and leather jacket. You fucking queer! They were tough. But she was approachable. I met her behind Kentucky Fried Chicken by a dumpster, and she was just nice. It's a true story. And I asked her, I didn't just go, hey, look at my fucking dick. I asked her, can I show you my penis? And she's like, fine. And I took it out, and we're both standing there, and she's looking at me like, dude, you think you're the first person to do this? I've seen every dick in this town. Just put it away. That's what it was like when I was a kid. I mean, not for everybody. Not every single. Oh, sure, we all showed our dicks to fucking people.
You know, I was watching The Wizard of Oz the other day, and because that was a storm of dicks, you know, that was a tornado of dicks. Dorothy! Fuck. I really was watching The Wizard of Oz the other day, and there was this moment that really freaked me out. I'd never noticed it before. It's, I don't know if you saw The Wizard of Oz. It's about a little girl named Dorothy. She's played by an alcoholic older lady. And she lives in Kansas, and she has a little dog, and she's like, my dog, help everybody. And all the grown-ups are like, this is a farm. It's the Depression. We have things to do. Anyway, so there's a tornado, and everybody goes inside, like immediately. They just leave her. It's so traumatizing. When I was a kid watching this, because they didn't give a shit, Auntie Anne was like, Dorothy! Okay, fuck it. And she just goes right inside, and they bolt the door. And Dorothy comes like 10 seconds later, and she's going like this, and they're down there going, nah, man, you're the weakest link. Goodbye. Anyway, she goes to Oz, and there's this moment that really, this one time, I've seen it a lot of times, but it's when Ray Bolger plays the Scarecrow. He gets very upset, and he has this moment where he goes way over the top, even for this movie. It's when he gets torn apart by flying monkeys. And the Tin Man comes over and he goes, what happened? And he says, well, first they tore my arms off, and they threw them over there. And then they tore my legs off, and I threw them over there. I've seen this movie like 1,000 times, but for some reason this time when I got to that moment, I was like, holy shit, what was that? The fuck is he doing? And I wondered if, like, Victor Fleming, who directed the movie, if he had any moment during the filming where he was like, I think I need to have a word with Ray. Because that's getting to be a lot. All right, let him do one more. Action! What happened? Well, first they tore my arms off, and I threw them over there! And then they tore my... All right, cut! Oh, shit. Listen, Ray. Yes? You know, you're fine. Just keep doing it. Fucking pain in my ass.
So I called a friend of mine the other day. You ever make a phone call and you get the wrong number, and the person that answers can't believe that you would ever get a wrong number? You ever get someone who doesn't take it in stride? I got this lady once. I was like, "Hi, is Tony there?" She's like, "Who?" Tony. I don't know it, Tony. How did you get this number? What do you want from me? I guess it was the first time her phone rang in like 20 years or something. She hung up, so I just kept pressing redial. Put Tony on or I'll fucking kill you. Put her on! I used to like when my phone rang. Now it's always some idiot calling me. AT&T calls me every day. Hi, it's AT&T. You're calling. If you want to switch to AT&T, it's good service because you call your friend on the phone. And they can be in another part of the area. And you call them, and you don't have to yell or anything. You're just right there. So what do you think? Would you like to switch? It only costs some money. Would you like to switch for the AT&T? And I'm like, no, I already have AT&T. I have it already. Why are you calling me? Well, still, you want some more? Because it's good. Get some more AT&T. It's better than the other ones. I know I have it! Stop fucking calling me!